Are you ready?
It's what you do when you get the clap.
Is it?
Yeah.
What does that do?
Go on then. You chop it off.
Welcome to the Lenzerheide Ride Companion. That good intro?
Yeah, great. Fantastic intro, mate. Appreciate you. Thanks for doing it.
That's all right,
let's
dude.
do again, we always get a question about guests. Like, sometimes people are like, who's that guy? We did it on the Bren one, right? Oh, who's that guy?
Oh, okay.
People
Yeah, we
don't
need
know.
to.
So we need to do like a brief introduction to who DV is.
Stand up, introduce myself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, do you know, I'm so annoyed now I'm seeing you with the microphone. I really wanted like one of the Justin Bieber microphones because you're
Like a
you're
Britney.
coming in with context. You're the World Cup analyst, right? And if you just had a little Britney number, maybe a flesh tone one. You know what I mean? Like
And we could put him in the garden too, like he's on location.
Yeah.
Let's go to
Flesh
Dave
tone
in the
enough that
garden.
people aren't sure it's a thing. They just think it's some kind of like a growth.
how many times has that happened to you when you watch something and you're like, what is
It's
in
like,
his
is there
ear?
something on
It's
their
like,
face?
Yeah.
you know, it's
Yeah.
like hearing aid colour and then it's got a long like insect arm coming out
I
with
think
a
they should
wart
just
on the
only
end.
just
I
have
always look at it like, what is
It must
it?
be so weird having that there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever used one?
No. No. Why would I? No. I bet you have.
Yeah, I had
you'll
to
use one.
use one at the bike show the other day.
Did you?
Or did I? No, I didn't. Deeks did, but I've had to in the past. Yeah,
Why
they're really
Deeks, not
creepy.
you?
Or those Q&A ones.
It's just so you can really like gesticulate. Is that the word?
Ah, yeah. Use your hands.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, Dave's our World Cup analyst.
Analyst, apparently.
Yeah.
Right, get analysing.
I like to caveat it with
We're gonna chill.
with I've watched as much as I could.
Nah,
But it's
you,
been-
Mate.
I think you're great for the role.
Yeah, Ollie sold it to me pretty hard on the phone as well.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, honestly, DV's
I feel
the
like he
man.
might have hyped me up too much.
He did,
Nah.
but- Well,
Okay, so what's your background in World
So-
Cups?
My background in World Cups is when, interesting actually, following on from your previous guest, Bren. So back in his last year of riding for Monster Specialised,
yeah.
he was in need of a mechanic. I'd had a broken arm beforehand, wasn't riding. So the stars aligned and I managed to step into that role.
Okay. All right.
Unfortunately, it wasn't a great year for him.
So he saw you injured and he thought that's the
He's
guy
like,
I
yeah.
need.
He's the guy to
But
go.
I'd swung, like, I'd been working in bike shops previous to that, and
Yeah.
going back as far as his Orange days, like, he'd tap me up for wheel builds and things like that. So I'd sort of behind the scenes done bits for him for years and years and years.
Right.
And then there was the opportunity to get on the World Cup circuit.
I mean, you are
for a
good
bit.
at it, aren't you? Very
Tinker.
bitty, yeah.
Tinker,
Yeah, but you're a
yeah.
bitty tinkerer.
Bitty on it, yeah. There's,
Bitty.
there's levels of bittiness.
There are. But I think you're a good level of bitty.
Yeah,
Like, I'd want a
yeah.
bitty mechanic.
No, exactly. 100%.
Yeah.
You want a bitty mechanic at the World Cups,
Yeah.
for sure.
So what was your, like, you said you worked in some bike shops and stuff. Where did you work?
So I
And how
worked
did you
at
end up landing
a
there?
local bike shop here, Lippick Cycles, originally for
Oh,
years
yeah?
and years and years.
Yeah.
Then we had a work experience boy come into there, which was funny enough. Mike, who's now the M of MB. So there's a connection there. So I've known those boys years.
So you're older than Mike?
Yeah, I'm the big
You wouldn't
4
believe,
Shit.
you
Big
wouldn't believe
40.
it, would you?
40 now.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
He's
Um,
reproduced everything.
Yeah.
Completed life, so I'm on the downward slope now. That's it. Done.
Here
He's
we are.
also
It's
really,
as good as
really
it gets.
fast. You wouldn't guess it because he's nice. I feel like if
I've seen him
someone's like,
biking.
yeah,
Yeah, super fast.
but you wouldn't guess it because you're nice and funny.
But unfortunately bitty. So therefore, whilst going fast, I'm also concerned about the damage I'm causing to my bike.
oh no, that's a real shame,
It's like,
Dave.
I
What
could
did
go
you do
fast.
there?
I'm going to buckle my wheel. Yeah.
So how long did you do on the
Just
on
a
the circuit
year.
with
Just a
Brendan?
year because Bren fired me.
Yeah.
After that, and went to Scott.
Okay.
No, it's one of those things. He went to Scott. And he did. In all fairness to Bren, he asked the question, but they had mechanics.
Right. Yeah.
And what have you with contracts, and they said so unless someone does something ridiculously silly, we
Yeah.
don't have a gap for that.
Fair enough.
That team had been, and that Monster Specialised team had been dissolved at that point, because that's when the Specialised factory then set up.
Right.
Dude, it's mad that it was only a year. I think of it as
Yeah,
way
it's just
longer.
a year. But the way I saw
Said
it at the
5 to me on
time,
the phone.
Yeah. 6. Veteran. He's a veteran in the game.
yeah. But the way I saw it at the time, I had the opportunity to basically travel the world with one of your mates.
Yeah.
You know,
And how long ago is it that? What
that
were you
was
thinking? If you're 40 now,
that was 2011.
was it? Yeah. So you
Yeah.
can't do that.
So
So
I can't
Wild
do the
old
maths
thing.
on
You were
that
right in the mix,
31.
weren't you? Because you were
Yeah.
you
So
were
on
there
the team,
with Sam
on the team
Hill.
at the time, Sam Hill and Troy. So that was quite
And
rabbit in the headlights. It's like, oh, I've got to sit in the van with Sam.
And it was when it was.
I mean, Troy was on UFO kits. Troy was like a proper dweeb at the time.
He was on UFO
I hope
kit,
he doesn't mind me saying that. But yeah, he was on like a UFO kit, and he was like a junior at the time. And
on UFO.
yeah,
But there was mystery surrounding that team, wasn't there? There was like the curtains were down in the pits. It wasn't like a friendly. It was like an
it was
intimidating
all like, well,
team,
it was
wasn't
monsters. Like all their pits were black. It was all like,
Yeah.
See, it was all like 666 devil team, wasn't it? Really?
I guess, yeah. I mean, 2011. Yeah, I was kind of watching World Cups then personally, but not really. I was just paying like attention from afar. So it's all this sort of stuff is where I do get around that era is where I get a bit hazy.
That's the glory days of downhill, which hopefully we're getting back to. I hope.
Feels that way a bit, yeah.
We shall see.
But that was an interesting year for me. I actually had quite a good year bringing Bren's mechanic because that was also a year Sam at Fort Bill absolutely mashed his shoulder, I think. And therefore he didn't race for most of it. They came back for World Champs, but he was gone for the season.
Okay.
And that bumped Bren up onto all the black box stuff. Which was all like the prototype SRAM boxes and brakes and all that kind of stuff, which then meant I had to do very little.
Really?
Yeah, because all that stuff went... You just took it to the trailer and they did it.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Is that normally how it works, you think?
So normally,
the
like,
guy
yeah,
is
normally
getting all the shit and then...
Yeah, so they normally, like, Sam Hill at the time was obviously Sam Hill.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's on all the black box stuff, trying, like, everything, testing all the proto stuff. So it was, I don't really know how it works, but I assume it's assigned to the team or assigned to... And obviously Bren at that time as well he was up there.
Yeah, yeah.
So when Sam got hurt, they were like, well... we still need someone to deal with this stuff, so I guess it's filtered down to him.
I think we'll probably, sorry to interrupt you, we'll probably talk about that as well, because I guess Jordan Williams, who won this race, was on a old demo.
Yeah, so I guess on that team setup, he's probably the equivalent of Troy at that point, I guess. And then,
the other guys, I guess it's Finn and Lerick are doing the
they're testing all that stuff. Yeah,
crazy, interesting to think. What were the... Because I find all the racing, like, mechanic stuff really interesting. What were, like, some of the major differences from working in a bike shop to then being a World Cup mechanic?
Like, the level of... And I thought of this as... It's kind of like a... what's the word I'm trying to find there? So, like, there's a... Sorry. You put a lot of pressure on yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you don't want the one... reason, like, so hypothetically something goes wrong on track, you don't want that to be on you.
Yeah, of course.
So you go through the bike multiple times.
Yeah.
You go through the bike with a torque wrench or whatever you want to do, front to back, you do up every single bolt, you get to the end, you know you've done it.
Yeah.
But you'll do it
again.
Second guess
you'll
do it again anyway.
Yeah. That's so true. That's so true. I think again, you've gone from, like, working in a bike shop where obviously you want the bike to be safe when it rolls out the door.
Yeah.
But it's not
you can't
on TV.
Do that,
there's not thousands of people watching.
You can't do that on a bike. Imagine if everyone who came in a customer in the bike shop and you got the one guy in the shop's just spent 10 hours recombing your bike 15 times. It doesn't work. But in that setup, it does work.
Yeah.
And that's what you're there to do. So.
Yeah, that's cool. Again, sort of been there in a weird kind of way with the moto side of, like, working on a guy who's going to go, like, race supercross bike. Yeah. And you're just like, it's the weirdest feeling.
What did you have to do on that?
Again, I didn't really do much of it. That's the cool, and I think that's probably what we'll talk about a bit with DV. It's like, you're not, with the greatest respect, you call yourself a mechanic, but you don't fix anything. It's just like put a new one on. Even if it's like still a somewhat privateer and amateur, you're not fixing stuff. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like you want the guy that's super good at, like I said, like, not bodging stuff, but being able to fix a mech. It's like, nah, off, new one on.
Yeah.
And it was the same with what I was doing. Like, okay, you break whatever it could be. I'm trying to think. I mean, a regular guy out riding a motocross bike isn't going to carry a spare gear lever. So you'd bend it back, and you're like the fixing guy that's like, I've got that, and I mean, you don't do any of that shit. It was just like, new one on, done. So you didn't really ever do that much. You're just checking stuff all the time. You just, like you said,
you're more like a quality control.
Yeah, you just it's like every spoke, like, boom, you've done it, and you're like, I'll do it again. You do it again, and it's like, it's just that sort of stuff.
There tend to be a lot of wheel builds at, like,
especially for
tracks. Really.
There was one at that year. So the good result he had that year was that it's the same year Danny Hart had that run.
Yeah, is it?
That run was that year. So we're at Champery Worlds, obviously absolutely peed it down. I think Bren came fourth that year.
Oh wow!
But like he said multiple times, no one remembers fourth. No one remembers who got second that year, do they? Danny won it.
No,
Who
Danny
came
won
second?
it,
No one
yeah.
knows. But Bren had a good run. He came fourth. That's fairly respectable.
Fucking is, yeah.
But I remember like during practice, and obviously it's right at the end of the season, that one, and he was coming down every run with this flat spot in his front wheel, and obviously the other mechanic he's front wheel, yeah. So the other mechanic is JC, the infamous JC Shimlak.
Okay.
So I've been with Sam Hill for years.
Yeah.
So I'm going to JC and being like, "Oh, Bren's done another rim," and he's like, "Well, whatever he's hitting on that track, he needs to stop because we're running short on rims. We've only got like 2 left. It's right at the end of the season. Spares are parts are limited." So I chat to Bren. This is in practice, and say, "What are you hitting on the track, Bren? Like, is there another line?" Thinking it's something sensible. And he's like, "No, me and Danny have been having a long jump competition off the finish line, and they've been landing like that finish line went down." that finish line went down like a bank, and then basically to the tarmac car park, and they've just been slapping front wheels from 20 foot to flat, completely pointlessly. And flat, so and then
You're hustling, trying to fix them
I'm
up.
lying back in the pits, panicking,
Scratching your
spitting
head.
wheels
Like, what is
up.
on this track?
Yeah, wet, like bleeding knuckles, building rims up just so we can, go to flat
That's
again
hilarious.
and ping a thing.
Sounds like good times.
Yeah.
Anyway, it sounds like are you pleased that you did it?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to carry on as well, but
Yeah.
yeah. And now situations change. Like, I think it's you either been in it as a career or it's like a young man's game. Like you get, without sounding boring, responsibilities and things like that. Like I couldn't do it now.
It's a lot of time
It's a
away.
lot of time
isn't it?
away
So
from
much
home,
a lot
all
of
that kind of
time, yeah.
stuff. Yeah, yeah.
I don't think personally I'd like just not out of control it is, but kind of out of control it all is. Like you're here, there, you're everywhere, different flat. Like I don't think I'd like that anymore. I used to think, oh yeah, I'd love to do that. Like my ideal job back in the day was a runner on a supercross team. That's what I wanted to be. The runner was the guy, not a mechanic, just nothing. He just like weirdly checks everything, looks cool.
Yeah.
That was my like dream job. Like
Yeah.
you want all of the stuff looking nice on the table. You want the stickers in the right place.
Yeah.
I wanted that job. But
So you've
now
got
I'm
like
like,
all
nah.
the travel, all the cool,
Yeah.
with none of the pressure.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good job. That,
Yeah,
innit?
that's the one
It
to
would be a
have,
sick
yeah.
job. Like not a team manager or anything like that. You're just there just to keep an eye on stuff.
At the team meals, you've got the BTS.
Yeah.
You've got
It'd be sick. That's a cool job. But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I used to think I'd enjoy that sort of stuff. But now I'm like, nah, kind of like we spoke about,
Yeah.
like my little circle.
Yeah, fully. I think probably also the fact that you've been following it so long, like we have been following it a really long time now, eh?
Well,
Like
we
you
had like
actually-
skin in the game, didn't we?
Yeah.
From
Yeah,
year dot,
exactly, yeah, I
like, one of your
suppose that's
best
it, yeah.
mates is going and doing it every year.
Yeah.
By default, keep up with it.
True. How did you meet Bran? Do you remember that first?
Working at that bike shop, that
Was it,
Liquid
yeah?
Cycles, and you
Yeah.
get this this like grommy little kid coming in every Saturday to buy inner tubes and broken bits and bobs.
Yeah.
And then you hear about he's like riding up the local woods, and you just bump into him.
Okay.
And then I think one of the first times I really got to know him was up at Milford, which is where I met Ollie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The old OG Milford crew. And then Bren wasn't driving, so I'd pick him and Christian up. I'd take them to the trails, arrive for the day, drop them home.
All right.
So
Yeah.
mad. Dirt jumps are just the middle of stuff. They're just the hub, I feel like.
Yeah. There's that photo, isn't there? You go back on that photo of that crew, and in that crew,
Yeah.
it's like you got like Bernard, Bren, Christian,
Yeah, it's good,
Mike
isn't it?
Smith.
Chop.
Or is like
Chop this way.
No, he wasn't
No,
at the
further
time.
out.
He was the next trails down at Winchester.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there was quite like a strong crew.
Mm.
Yeah, it was good.
So you two have known each other ages then as well.
Very long time, yeah. Bit
Nice.
like to the point where you don't think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
it
you
doesn't
don't.
really feel
I
old.
can't even remember. I don't think about where I know you from.
No, I couldn't. Well, if someone said, I'd be like, I just know you from bikes, but
biking.
couldn't put a time on it.
So
Yeah.
sorry, I know you got the notebook out. I'm getting a bit nervous about what's in there. So former World Cup mechanic.
For a year, it was
Yeah,
like,
but we'll take it.
We can claim it.
Yeah.
Yeah, claim it.
So former World Cup mechanic. Obviously good biker. Massive fan of the sport.
Massive fan of sport.
Colour analyst.
What?
Now-
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what's a colour analyst?
Don't know.
I think that's
know the
where,
term.
isn't that when people
I got it wrong.
I don't know. I think
Might have.
yeah, I think you might have. I think it's
Okay.
where I think it's what they call like hairdressers, where you come and go in for an appointment and you get
Was
different
it?
colour.
That'd be
Don't know
ironic,
what,
wouldn't
we're,
it?
what we're here for.
Please.
I don't know what colour analyst is. Doug will know. Dig it up, Doug. What's I've wanted to use that for so long. Just take a moment.
I saw it on the
Dig it
story.
up, Doug.
I did see it on the story
Colour
post.
analyst. What's a colour analyst?
Is that not where you like compare colours to skin and you're like, oh, you really suit green clothing, or you really
Okay,
suit
you're doing a great job, Dave. White's a good.
Yeah, rail numbers and stuff.
So yeah, colour analyst. So what do you do now? Just so we have a bit more context.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm a commercial heating engineer.
There you go.
Yeah,
Alright.
we're focusing on renewables.
Okay.
So we do heat pumps, and I was driving around my van listening to a podcast many minutes ago when you talk about heat pumps.
Oh right, yeah. Did we? Yeah.
Yeah, you took it, and I was
probably.
like,
We've
you know,
answered a lot of
these
your
guys don't
questions as
have a
well.
clue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course.
yeah.
Of course, a lot of questions. Thank you. Appreciate the
You've-
support.
No worries.
Yeah, so
And
you've
it's nice to have you on
shouted
here as well.
at your radio. For
I shouted at my
hours
radio
us
when you
getting
guys were
stuff wrong.
discussing heat pumps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, no.
Idiots.
No.
Yeah.
It's great to have you on here, man. Appreciate it. I
No,
think
no worries.
I think it's always good to bounce stuff like this off other people, isn't it? You know, you're doing World Cup stuff and talk about races, and yeah, I'm not the best at it, so it's good to
No.
have someone who can.
I
help
feel like we've always
understand
covered
what's
the
going
races just lightly, but I feel like we should cover them more and we
In
should do it
depth,
better.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because it's actually fun, isn't it?
and
especially-
it's good when you've got a bit more of a like with sport, you get out what you put in.
Yeah,
and when
yeah,
you
you're
just
so
look at it
right.
and you're just like, yeah, whatever, like you don't. But when you're actually talking behind the scenes a little bit
Yeah.
more, maybe with your friends,
Yeah.
and you're discussing who's doing what and team moves and gossip.
And there'll be things
Yeah.
now, like we'll start looking at this, like now you'll want to follow, won't you?
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you get in at round one and you get interested in it, you want to follow it.
Dude, it's A1.
Yeah.
It's A1, and it's the biggest change we've had in downhill since I've been following downhill.
yeah.
The addition of the semi is like, it sounds like nothing, but that's the biggest change.
And we were just
we've had,
chatting
isn't
about
it?
the points, actually, weren't we, beforehand? We were just looking at the points between like the semi and the main.
Yeah,
And actually, like it's gonna keep it interesting. I think it's gonna stop. I say that I didn't look what the point situation was before with So you got points for quali before, didn't you?
you did.
Yes.
That was the previously the last big change. So I
Yeah.
remember Minar waiting at the side of the track with an umbrella because do you remember that?
Yeah.
Because they didn't have to quali, there was no points on the line, so people would try and qualify later if there was like weather warnings.
warnings.
Yeah, inclement
Yeah.
weather coming and stuff. That's that's again like the whole Matty Leikainen down in the dry, Sam Hill on the wet, Shampoo run.
Yeah.
That was that situation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And they looked at the forecast, said, no, and again, because there's no points, there's no reason not to pull over on the track.
Yeah.
Wait 10 seconds, carry on.
Who's normally making those decisions on a race team?
Well, like stopping. on
Yeah,
the side
like
of a
team
track.
decisions
Well, I
like
guess
that,
it'd be
like-
chatted about in the pits, and it'd
Yeah.
be like a manager's decision
Manager's
or something.
decision.
Someone would be watching the weather, but I think they obviously did that to try and get rid of.
every team nowadays is
They're watching the
heavily stacked, and like lines and everything's
Yeah.
analysed. There's a lot going on now, isn't there? Like Bernie's team, you see how big it is now.
But
weather.
yeah, more
Same on the
so-
broadcast, like 16 people. on it.
Yeah,
More so than when I know we're going back some, but more so we're going 10 years or more, but more so than when I did that year. There was only the riders, 3 riders, 2 mechanics, and a manager there.
Right.
yeah.
that's
I,
it.
I remember being sent
yeah.
up the hill personally to look at lines,
Oh wow.
like as a mate. Just what's this guy doing
Yeah.
here? What people doing here?
Whereas
No
now they
way.
have mechanics, nutritionists, physios,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, they do. Fluffers. All sorts. They do. No, you're right. It's crazy, isn't it? To think how it's evolved for sure.
yeah, totally. So there's the first round, and I feel like this is the A1. So there's like the new team changes, the new things in the pits and stuff. I mean, hey, we got a good story. Maybe it's for another podcast, but yeah, Bernie's new bike was there on time.
Yeah, it was. We can
Yeah,
tell it.
you got to tell that story.
Yeah, that's a good story.
It's a good story
'cause that was
it
the
happened
last
during the
podcast,
last. Yeah,
wasn't
during
it?
the last
Yeah.
podcast. Really. Yeah. Go
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
You'll
totally.
tell it better probably.
Well, I got a message from Bernard saying, "Do you know anyone who wants to go to America to pick up a frame for me?" And
In a group with how many people in? Let's just say roughly.
a few.
Few.
Yeah, a few. It was the trails chat,
Yeah, it's a John Pound group, wasn't it?
and he didn't get anything back, and he was like, spoiled brats." And then we were just talking about it, and Doug kind of, the way I remember it, there was jazz music playing, and there was like cigar smoke in the air. You
There's
know?
a smell of whiskey. That's for
Yeah.
damn
You're
sure.
going for the
Yeah, there was a
aesthetic
smell
again.
of whiskey, and he was at the bar, and and then as we were talking about it, he spun around and he flicked the cigar, and some ash went on the floor, and he went, "I'll do it." And it was so cool the way he
That's
did it.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't even realise he was wearing a tuxedo, did we?
No, we didn't even realise. No,
Just turned around
and
he's
no
like fully
trousers.
Jet.
I don't know, but anyway. And then so the whirlwind had begun. Is that right, Doug? So we basically, you said you were interested, and then you found yourself on a plane. What, like, how much later?
24 hours?
No.
Not even.
So
14 hours later. He's
So
on a
14 hours
plane.
later, Doug's on a plane.
I like how, for me, like you kept it quite quiet, and then we just got the photo of the beer in the airport and the flight thing saying like Arizona. It's like, yeah,
So
come on,
good.
dude. And then we got another photo in Austria, Munich, another beer. Like,
So there we go.
Good on you, mate.
Yeah,
you got
well
a little
done.
nod
Round
on the
of applause.
broadcast too.
So the other 3
of
days
course,
of sitting
Dougie.
down drinking beer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What do you do? Oh, you're not mic'd up. It's tough. We're gonna get you mic'd up for the next one.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it.
let's
So
talk
yeah,
about it.
that was the one that springs to mind. Is obviously their race only prototype bikes. But there was a few other things I think that stood
Yeah,
out.
there
when
was,
we were
I made
there.
a little list of some
Nice.
proto
And
stuff.
I'm
Yeah.
just going to also add in there that I'd like to hope that our listeners, given that we are predominantly a mountain bike podcast, are going to enjoy this sort of stuff, and we'd love to hear in the comment section what more do you want from a sort of like post World Cup show, like
Yeah, too right. It'd be good to do them properly though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
because we're going to go on a little journey together throughout the year. I reckon. Hopefully, we're going to watch a few in here. We can do
That'd
that.
be the dream. Yeah.
That'd be the dream. We can go through it as and when, like as it's happening. Sorry, but yeah, it'd be good. Use the comment section, please. I'll look at the camera. Use the comment section. Tell us what you want, what you don't want.
Yeah.
Anything. Any comments of what's been said now. Use the comment section as a bit of a forum
Yeah.
to chat.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Because discussion is the best thing. Because we're going through some changes.
We can shout all the things that we missed as well.
That'd probably be a lot.
Probably will.
There'll be a
Probably
few.
a lot. But
We can just try.
We'll
Yeah,
try our
we can
best.
just try.
We'll try our best. There's a lot to get through.
So Bernie's bike was interesting. Wasn't
Bernie's
it?
bike was interesting. It was interesting that also it doesn't look like it's going to be anytime soon. It's from what I was watching something, and they said,
Yeah.
you know, don't expect it
It was
anytime soon.
purely
It's still a work in progress.
I
as
wasn't
much as-
sure what that meant. Whether that meant that it was like they were just testing geometry and like shape and stuff using the lugs and the carbon, or whether it was. 'Cause
when you're saying lugs and carbon,
Yeah.
because I heard that on the broadcast. What is it like an Atherton bike almost? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, effectively. So
Does
I
it
think
look like that?
yeah, so I think they 3D print the lugs.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's a cheap way or a cheaper way of manufacturing stuff, and
Mm.
then they basically bond the tubes in.
Wow. So this is.
So I think
and
that's for
something
prototyping
for
stuff.
prototyping.
It makes it very quick to change angles, frames, lengths, reaches, all that kind of stuff. Whereas you think when you get to a production carbon frame,
Yeah.
you've got to outlay X amount
All that
on a
mold,
mold,
everything.
Yeah,
and they don't want to
tools,
mold a mold every time. It just makes it
Wow.
unachievable.
So
I guess.
did the Atherton, what would you call it, brand, whatever, start that?
Robot, wasn't
You
it?
think?
Was it Robot?
Oh, Robot did. Oh, you're right. Actually, yeah, Robot did do one, didn't they? Yeah, you're right.
I
remember seeing those
Bought
at
Robot.
Yeah,
didn't
that's
they?
right. I remember seeing them at Fort William.
Yeah.
2016.
What I couldn't
17?
work out was whether they were saying it's not going to come out in its current shape, which is like
whether
well,
that's
yeah.
the finalised bike and it's just going to be a carbon mold version of that.
Yeah, because I guess what's interesting about that bike is that there's two chains. It's high pivot, two chains, and it's was the old bike a mixer? Was the old bike a mullet?
No, I think
No,
it's
I
full
don't think so.
29.
It was full 29,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
But a lot of bikes have gone mullet now, haven't they?
Is it?
It seems to be the way. A lot of the downhillers are.
Yeah, seems that
Really?
way. Is it normal to do that sort of thing? First round, brand new series. You've got Bernard on a heater from 2022. All eyes on him, and then they've just gone new bike. Seemingly not much testing since they're in a box with our man Doug just a week or so before. It seems like a bit of a gamble. I don't know. There must be more to it than that.
Yeah, I mean that they've ridden it prior to
They've
that.
ridden it
that
prior.
was
Yeah.
last minute, but it was
Okay.
But yeah, I think it is. I think you're right. I think it is a gamble. I don't know. I think it's quite crazy.
Yeah, so
'cause
it's not like, for example, the Specialised where Finn was on it all last year.
Yeah.
So as much as it's still a prototype, that's like a proved
Yeah.
prototype.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know.
But
interesting thing.
I guess you have to assume that there's been
Yeah.
some behind the scenes riding of that.
Yeah, there must be.
No, it can't just be like new bike and see how it goes.
Does
round
it-
one.
No.
Is anyone out there? This is what I always find interesting. If they do stuff like 4 race only, are there people out there about to pull the trigger on the dream bike, and they just, because to me, I might see that and think, like, part of me just thinks, oh, that's the coolest. This is a cool brand. They're doing cool stuff. But part of me thinks, oh, they're about to bring out a better one.
Yeah.
it's
Well, I
very
wonder if
true.
that's, again, could be marketing. When I say this bike's not coming anytime soon, it could be.
Maybe it is. Yeah.
Could be for that reason.
Yeah,
Interesting
that's
to think
true.
about, like you
yeah.
say,
Maybe
because
like they've got stock they want to clear
a
before
lot
they
of
drop the new bike.
the reason, yeah, exactly. But also a lot of the reason for having the race team and stuff is to sell bikes. So when there's not a bike to be sold behind it,
Yeah.
it's kind of strange, isn't it? Because like you say, you want to watch whoever it is that's riding and be like, oh, I can buy that bike. I can go race my local MPS, British downhill MPS,
Yeah,
British
yeah.
downhill. But you can't. It just doesn't. It's not a thing.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Again, I think for me, like, we'll probably relate quite a lot of this back to Supercross, but the reason that certain bike brands do really well is because they're winning AMA Nationals or
Yeah.
MXGP or whatever, and people
Yeah,
are
well,
like,
like,
actually,
well,
I'm
like
going to go and buy that bike.
sale of Suzuki's have shot through the roof with
Exactly.
rocks and back on them, haven't they?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting to think about.
What other pit bits you got, Dave?
Other pit bits, well, you got the specialised protos, and they must have moved that on. So Loic didn't ride it last year. Whether he didn't want to ride it last year, I don't know. But he was on.
What is he
comfortable on
even
the old bike.
riding? What's behind the thing?
Well, we don't know. No one knows.
If you
but
could
it's not
guess.
like a neoprene. It looks a bit more. They're hiding it properly now. It's not like a neoprene bag around it now. It's like now a properly like moulded casing, isn't it?
I think they should have done it out of like tights material, so it's a bit like
Yeah.
erotic,
So people are
exotic.
zooming in on the.
You see a little
Ground.
bit, You see just a
Mondraker,
little bit.
Mondraker have got the sexy tights on.
Have they?
Yeah, Mondraker.
Yeah.
Interesting what they're doing. They've got again, it's a proto, but Brooks on it, and they've got a just like a removable bottom bracket, so you can effectively lower your BB. You can change it. You can move it forwards, backs.
Oh,
You
really?
can
So it's
rotate.
just like a virtual
Yeah, it's got
one.
like lugs on it, and you can rotate it.
Is that right?
So you can like move it, like swing it up and down.
almost
and
like a
move
chain
it.
guide.
Right,
just
right, right.
everything's
So it
adjustable.
just
Yeah,
goes. Okay.
yeah.
Interesting. Do you see? Is it on off topic? But you see the BB shell snap out of that World Cup cross country races bike.
No.
What was that?
Oh, it's
No.
just a terrible
Was it
shot,
just-
but it's like the whole bottom of the shell comes out. It's so gnarly, yeah.
He's not
And
out
then
the
he's just
saddle
stood there like a
cranking.
lemon. He's like, right, there's a bit of a
You
marketing.
can't hide that, can you?
There's a bit of a PR
You
nightmare. I guess I'll just push to the side, just like kicking his cranks
Looking
along.
for cameras. Like,
Yeah. All right, cool.
There was an interesting one for like being bitty and nerdy. There was a
Yeah.
really interesting. I've made a note of it here. There was a Gamux bike. Have you heard of that Gamux bike?
No.
wow.
So it's a fully CNC'd frame. It's got a gearbox in it, 6-speed pinion gearbox,
Someone rode this at the World Cup and qualified.
and I don't know if he qualified or not. I don't know, but
With all
From
the
like
drag,
tech.
it might be.
tech bit. It's belt drive.
Yeah.
So it's just
Wow.
it's one of those things, and it's like you think
I like
order
belt
down a
drive.
bike. Yeah, belt drive's kind. It's quiet. It's cool.
Yeah.
You don't have a chain device with it.
Oh, imagine
It's just like
hearing all the
It's like a
thudding of
pulley. It's like a tensioner pulley.
Yeah.
But I thought that was like
Gamux. How are we spelling that?
GAMUX. Gamux.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It is interesting, yeah.
I didn't notice that.
But I didn't notice too much new stuff from
Right.
a lot of other people. There's a new Fury come out, new GT bike, but that's kind of, you've seen that all off season.
Yeah.
It's not really been a very
Yeah.
rapid thing.
What
is it?
what's the giant bike like? Same, isn't it? It's not really.
Well, they
changed.
say it's a new Glory, but it doesn't look
No.
doesn't look. It might be geometry tweaks.
Yeah.
No, well, maybe we'll see more next round because it is actually quite hard to follow, and I rely quite heavily on just sort of being shown the pit bits. I don't know, like on
Well-
various websites. It's not like I really can pay attention on the race on the live feed or.
No.
you
No.
can't
Like you
pick
say,
up.
it's
Like
tough.
you say,
like,
it's more of like a. It's a website thing, isn't it? You want to go and look for
Yeah.
it. You're not going to get shown it on the live feed. You just see a blow of a bike fly past.
Maybe we can get the budget to get you out there, mate. Man on the ground.
That'd be good. Then we definitely got to get the Britneys.
Then I get my Brittany.
It's Brittany badge.
We'll see. We'll send Davey out.
Well,
Maybe you don't want to now.
There was
Well, for clearing stock, going back to that, like Specialized aren't going to have any problems, are they? Because
There you go.
Jordan won on the old bike.
Exactly. Marketing Genius.
marketing failure there.
Potentially.
The dream.
But demo sales have gone up
Yeah.
this week in the
Yeah,
UK. People
I mean,
are
what do you
fucked.
think? Yeah, what do you do if you're one of the boys on the new stuff? I don't think it means anything.
No. And again, you don't know
It's
that,
like-
that prototype's not probably where it should be yet, is it? So they're, you know.
It's probably something we could come on to further, but just to throw it in there right now, what do you think that does like on the team to that dynamic a little bit? New guys come in, rookie year, elite. Loic even said in the post-race interview, it was like, it sucks to be beaten by the new guy. And you know Loic's like super competitive, right? What do you think it does to the team dynamics? What do you think? I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I think they're going to come out. They're going to want to kind of put him back in his place, aren't they?
That's exactly
And
how
Finn's
I
not-
see it.
Finn's
especially
not-
when Loic was
Finn's
like
not making
on
up
a
the
heater.
numbers either, is he?
No.
He was basically, barring injury, probably going to be on the on for the overall last
Yeah.
year as well.
True.
Um,
True.
That
Yeah,
sort of
so-
environment.
and I
is
think you have
so
to look at
nice.
that though. Yeah. Oh mate, I can imagine. But like when you're looking at like a pick for next week, they're the ones that you're like, yeah, Loic's gonna have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's got something to prove a little
Higher
bit now.
octane fuel
Yeah.
in the tank. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Those are the we'll do that. Well, that's a
And is
segment.
it
We'll get that.
an element as well? You know, Jordan's come in there. It's rookie.
Yeah.
No, he's got no pressure.
Yeah, true.
Now he's got all the pressure.
Imagine it first
Yeah.
round, you're sort of walking him through the track walk, you're telling him a couple of lines.
Yeah.
You know? You're like, this is what I normally do, kid. Stick with me, you'll be all right.
You should qualify.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I believe, did Andres Cole win last year, the first round? I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was Andres Cole last. No, Anne-Marie. Did he?
I think so. Yeah. Lawrence.
Okay, all right.
Trying to think back.
Yeah, I was trying to think that one for me, like, it's that first round sort of you never know who's going to win sort of thing, and, and usually
Everyone's
it's
sort of
someone
showing
that's
their
like
colours, aren't they?
that you don't expect.
Mm.
Now I bet not many people would have picked Jordan Williams to win the
No.
first round.
I think actually
With
all
the
the
greatest respect to him, but like
and all the hype out the two of them was going to be Goldstone, wasn't
Jackson,
it?
yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
so I thought he
everyone was
was
saying he's going to be the one that comes out and wins it first.
yeah, for sure.
Um,
Especially looking what he did like through the off season,
Yeah.
he was everywhere, right? He's winning street races, he's doing all sorts.
Real hard to carry momentum through from one season to the next, I feel like.
And it was one of
especially
the
at that
longest
young
off
age.
seasons as well, wasn't it? It was like
Yeah.
8 months.
Yeah, it
8
was a long
months or
off
something.
season.
Yeah.
You're right, super long off season. I think, obviously, again, we're going to talk about Jordan Williams. I think a little bit more. So yeah, let's wait. But I just we'll wait. We'll come round to that.
Troy was
That's
using
okay.
the steering stabilizer. Dude, someone clear up what the steering stabilizer does, because
So,
I don't know what
right.
it does.
Well, we have two things here. So again, being where we live, we're lucky enough. I think you've had Jack Noy on the podcast, haven't you? Or you had it? I
Oh,
know I had
maybe.
one of going back to your previous.
Hey, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jack was on the
Jack
podcast
at Canyon.
from Canyon.
Encyclopedia
Yeah,
of
there was a few people from Canyon on.
So we reached out. We actually went
thank
for a
you, I
ride on
forgot
the other
about
day, and he said he's got one of the cable tied on steering. It's not a steering damper, so a lot of people
No.
get confused. So a steering damper, like on a motocross bike, if you're high speed and you hit a load of stuff, and it basically stops your handlebars walloping left and right.
Yeah,
So this is a steering stabilizer. So it's not
Right.
damping anything. It's basically trying to pull the bars straight, hold the bike.
oh right,
Straight.
Okay,
Um,
okay. So a damper would work against you.
Damper
this is-
effectively stops the bars getting ripped out your hands.
Yeah.
Does it stop tank slap? Is that what
Tanks-
dampers for?
tank slap.
Yeah.
Whereas I think what they're trying to say here is the stabilizer's trying to pull the bike and make the bike hold its line.
So it's
Right.
not for speed wobbles. That's not why it's on
No,
there.
No. So
Hmm.
what did Jack say? So
Mate, great.
he said He said, in summary, works in a few ways for downhill racing. I think 2 areas are the most relevant. 1, it helps keep the bike on line by reducing the effort of the front wheel deflections, either from roots, rocks, or off cambers.
So number 1, is that like power steering? Because do you know what I mean? I can't see how it
I guess,
what it does
I guess
otherwise.
from that point, I guess there's less rider input needed to stop the wheel going offline.
Yeah, so if you hit a diagonal
Yeah.
route, your
so
front
it'd
wheel
be
wouldn't
harder
snap.
to.
So the wheel's already
Turn
trying
the
to
bar.
find its way back to the straight line without
Okay.
your input.
Do you think you'd be able to feel it if you just sat on the bike?
Well, so I've not ridden one. I don't know. That's the interesting thing. Is it? Are you conscious of it? Do you know?
Yeah. I just think if Troy had it on his bike,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he
must
wouldn't
do
have put it on there, dude. He's not. It's not. He won't have been contractually obliged to do it. He must like it.
We have an input from Troy as well.
Oh, look at this guy.
something. Unbelievable.
As mentioned before,
Journalism.
as mentioned before, he was a Grom in UFO kit,
Yeah.
and I said, oh,
So you were.
yeah, I
looked
was
up
like,
to you?
oh, do you remember me from 12 years ago? Reached out in the DMs, and he said, not much, to be honest.
Leave me alone. You're blocked.
I was surprised he even gave me the time of day, to be honest.
Yeah, sick, dude.
Oh, he's a
But he
top
did,
bloke.
what did he say? So he said, I said, what's your opinion on the Canyon steering stabilizer thing? Leaving it on, do you think it's more beneficial on rougher tracks? He's like, I like it. It's not for every track, but the more loose the dirt, the better for it.
Right.
More
So
loose
it's
the
more.
dirt, better for it. Interesting.
So I guess it helps again if you're. Again, one of the things Jack told me when we're pedaling is like if you imagine going into a rut and that inside edge catches a rut, and you're then fighting the front wheel, you're trying to stop it from tucking under you. If you've got something, I mean, I guess like you say, the spring tension can't be that much because otherwise it's fighting against you as well when you're turning.
Yeah.
But if you've got something just helping to pull that front, rather than it tuck, you've got something pulling it back.
Yeah. Do you know what as well? Is like the forces that you exert on the bars that way aren't. I'm just thinking, come on, it's not going to move under my arms pulling it. The wheel won't move. The spring won't be able to fight whatever my arms are already fighting, kind of thing. But actually, your arms are like quite often not on that axis. You're not like riding around like whoa.
No, and actually, like
yeah.
you say, when you actually ride a bike, you don't. You know, if you come up to left-hand turn, you're not going. I'm going to turn left.
I'm going to
No,
steer
you're
my
Not doing
bike
that.
into this left-hand
It's actually
turn.
more to do with the leaning
Yeah,
of the bike,
yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
So
I
that
guess
means
while you're
all of
leaning
the
it, and
angle
that
is
front
through the
wheel,
suspension,
that
isn't
front
it?
wheel gets knocked,
Yeah,
and it comes back quicker, or you have to put less input to get it back.
yeah.
It's more of balance. But I'd say leading on to Jack's second point,
Okay.
which might actually address that. He's put it helps connect the front and rear of the bike. When there is grip, bikes with slack head tubes are pretty good without a stabilizer. But when it's loose, that little bit of extra connection on the system helps both tyres work together a bit more. So a front wheel wash or rear end oversteer is less likely.
Interesting.
I like it.
But again,
We'll see.
whether
Again,
it's a
one of those
canyon
things,
only
is it?
thing at the moment, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's not on every bike. It'd be interesting if Jack's got something you can cable tie onto your top tube and
Give it a go.
retrofit
Yeah.
and see.
Might be good for whips.
Could
I'd
be
ju-
the opposite for whips. It's trying.
Yeah, it's trying
Yeah.
to bring you back.
Yeah.
A good advert though, having Troy on it, and that
Fucking
actually,
is.
if he likes it, it's
Did you see
interesting.
at the end of his run? He obviously got a sticker on his bike. Did you notice this? He got a sticker just below the stabilizer, which I don't know what it was. Maybe it was a Pat Casey thing. It was something, and he was pointing at it. And the broadcast team were going, he's pointing at the steering stabilizer. And then I'm like, I don't think it is.
No.
And he was just pointing at
stabilizer.
Oh dear. Yeah, we'll talk about that. No
But yeah,
doubt.
it'd be interesting to actually watch and see if he keeps it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Let's
Or
find
if any
out
but
after
at
the
the end
break.
of the day, it's all progress, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Like it's interesting.
Absolutely. I like that you said let's find out after the break. Do you want to do it again?
Yeah, because it missed, didn't it?
No, but sometimes you swing and you miss. You know, it doesn't matter.
Let's swing again.
Yeah, okay.
You do it though.
No, I prefer it when you do it.
Let's find out after the break.
Yeah.
All
Hey,
right.
I want to ask you a question first. It's one of those ones where you ask a question and then you want to give the answer. So
Okay.
you're just literally, do you know what I
So
mean?
you want me to look puzzled,
Yeah.
and then you're going to do it. Okay.
What do you normally associate with, like, say, performance technical fabrics? I'm going to tell you what I associate.
Please, you go first.
Yeah. I associate metal detectors,
Okay.
people in the rain walking around duck ponds,
Okay.
maybe
yeah.
a miserable camping experience.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Our next sponsor,
It doesn't have to be like that, mate.
it doesn't.
No, it can be trendy, hip, cool, functional, and extremely fashionable.
That's right.
Mate, I'm so stoked to have Duo Jeans on board. Genuinely, it's easy to do ad reads like this because I've been wearing them myself for like 5 or 6 years.
You
I
have,
only
yeah.
wear Duo Jeans.
Yeah.
Legit. So Duo Jeans have come on board as an actual sponsor, and can't wait to talk about them a little bit more.
Yeah, I want to give my first impressions because this is my first time in Duo Jeans, right?
Yep.
I think until this point in life, my jeans have limited how far my limbs stretch.
That's accurate. Yeah.
Check this out.
Yeah. Wow, deep squat, everyone. For if you're audio listeners, we got a deep squat. Deep squat. Heels are on the ground. All good. And the crotch hasn't blown out.
Do you know why?
Because it's got the reinforced
Double gusset.
double gusset. Exactly.
It's got the double gusset.
Mate, you know that's going to be handy for you. Dirt jumping and stuff like that. You're always blowing gussets out. But with these, we got the double gusset. No more blowouts. I think that's
genuinely,
yeah.
Every set of jeans I've ever had gets to a certain level of patina. I really like them.
Yeah.
And then
the blowout.
The nuts blow out.
Mm.
I guess because you sit down a lot. Could be because...
Yeah. And active a lot of lunging, stretching,
Yeah.
running,
Yeah.
walking,
Yeah.
sweating, all the stuff that doer are going to help prevent
That's
and make
right.
a lot more comfortable. So yeah, doer, quick run over of doer. They are performance jeans made for doers.
That's right. It's denim made for adventure.
Yeah.
This versatile fabric offers elastic stretch, Coolmax fiber technology for optimum moisture control.
Yeah. Triple stitching for added durability, sustainability, made with organic and recycled fibers and finished with an antibacterial for maximum odor neutralization.
That's good.
Yeah, they're going to call that the ODub feature, I think.
Okay, whatever. Whatever, dude.
This denim is truly one of a kind.
That's right. No sweat.
Yeah. Plant-based fabric with the structure of a woven and softness of a knit. Feels like a sweatpant and looks like an everyday, polished, 5-pocket.
Plant-derived tensile fibers naturally inhibit bacterial growth and offer a soft hand feel, while Lycra provides stretch for comfort. And it does, doesn't it?
It does.
Feel mine.
Oh, I do feel nice, dude.
Yeah, let's feel yours.
And mine are probably 5 years old, genuinely, and they still look good as new, yeah. They do, yep. Different cuts. Head over to shopdoer.com where you can find the different fits. They've got a slim, straight, relaxed, and joggers. Again, a lot of them all feature the same sort of like fabrics and stuff like that. And, you know, features. You've got Coolmax fibers, high stretch fabric, antibacterial treatment, signature hidden gusset, natural and recycled fibers. Dude, these things are legit.
The stretchy thing's so good for knee pads as well, isn't it?
Will be, yeah. Mate, again, like it says, jeans for doers.
Yeah.
All right, get out there, do it. And if you want to go do something, head to shopdoer.com. You can find them all over, wherever you're listening. There is a dealer locator on the shopdoer.com website, or you can head into your local Cotswolds Outdoors.
Where's that?
Shopdoer.com.
What's it called again, the shop?
Shopdoer.com.
Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, you can head to, there's loads of retailers around the world, really, mate. Yeah, probably the best one, Cotswolds Outdoors if you're in the UK. Or just, hit that deal locator. Go find your local store. Go check out Doer Jeans and be as flexible as your man over here.
To our audio listeners, my foot is behind my head. It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And now I'm pulling it down, and now it's behind the other side of my head.
It's so stretchy, those jeans.
It's insane.
You couldn't do that if you weren't for these jeans, mate.
I couldn't, you're right.
Thank you, Doer. We appreciate you.
Big ups. Shopdoer.com. We're back. What have you got there?
I've got a lovely gift from, who was it who got them actually?
George.
Ollie's girlfriend, for those listening or watching, brought me 1, 2, 3, 4, I can't count.
Is it the full
too much
range,
whiskey.
dude? Because
5 Dr. Pepper drinks.
Yeah.
All
they're nice
are
as well.
not standard. There's not a standard one in there.
There's no standard.
Nah.
Only the modified category.
So thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you to everyone out there who supports
What's this
Dr. Pepper thing.
What's this
This
one?
is Dr. Pepper strawberries and cream, which is hard to find. Like that's a tough one to get. And it's a 0 sugar one, which is, I've never seen this in my life. It's got a sticker on it, which probably means it's imported.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Have you had all of these?
Yeah.
Have you had nearly every single one?
Yeah. And they've still never replied to a single thing.
Shame.
So we'll finish these 5 and then we'll get rid
He's
of them.
busy.
But
He's a
you're
doctor.
Still a fan.
Still a fan, mate. I'm in for the long haul.
He is a doctor.
I'm just...
It's got 23 ingredients. How do they make them different flavours?
Do you think they have if it's different, though?
I know, that's what I mean. Is it 24? Strawberries and cream.
That's
That's
25.
25.
They take one out and add one in.
Yeah. Yeah, must have.
You
Well,
reckon they take one out?
I reckon they must take one out and add one in.
Yeah, got rid of sugar and put cream in. Strawberries.
Could have done.
Yeah.
Is sugar sugar is an ingredient.
Oh,
What
yeah.
does the
I
20
feel like it's the main ingredient.
What does the yeah. What does the 23 what does it mean?
Can you
when
just
it
let me
says
drink this thing in peace?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Talk amongst yourself.
Okay.
Hang on, can you take a sip and name all 23 ingredients?
Please.
Yeah, hang on.
Oh, that was ASMR, wasn't it?
Sugar.
Well, it's 0.
No, it's
Strawberry.
0. Can't be.
Oh, fucking hell.
First hurdle.
Definitely some cream. That's actually really tasty. That's really good.
Good. So Dave,
Thank
what
you.
else did we see in
So
the
is
pits?
Georgie illegally importing Dr. Pepper?
Yeah.
Is this what we've
I
just...
think
yeah.
she must be. I don't know where she got it from otherwise. She must be bringing it into the country.
I'll go pick it up.
Maybe.
Fly out and pick up.
I wish that was on Mike. That was too good. Doug said, "I'll go pick it up." Brown bag.
The delivery man. Did you look in the box? He didn't look in the
He
box.
did look in the box. Yeah. he did.
Never look in the box.
Plastic wrapped. Oh.
Really, was it? Yeah.
Was it?
Could have been anything.
Mm.
Yeah. Could have been
It's
anything.
on you now.
Anyway,
More
thank
pit bits. So, I mean, there's loads of pit bits going on, but there's nothing particularly stand out. The only other thing that I really noticed was lots of teams, all the teams now, like we're saying, they've all progressed. They're all running telemetry stuff now, aren't they?
Yeah.
None of that gets released. I guess it's just purely for individual track setup.
So, what sort of thing would we be? You say telemetry.
So they're
To
monitoring-
someone listening that doesn't know, what are
Okay.
they actually monitoring? Because
So
it
they're
number
all
of
sat
things.
here. Who
Effectively
doesn't know?
optimizing their suspension, aren't they? So for the same reason as if you were going to go and, you've ridden the Surrey Hill, you've ridden our local tracks around here, you've got 80 PSI in your fork, that works fantastic for you here. You go somewhere else and the track, so you go to Fort William on that same fork, it's going to be too soft. You're going to be blowing through your travel, so you need to then reset up your fork for that track. An easiest way to do that, obviously you can do back-to-back runs, but if you could put a piece of equipment that's going to monitor your bike,
Then you've got
and you
data.
download the data, and you can be like, well, I'm only using 70% of my travel.
So is that the sort of? I'd love to get someone
Yeah.
on. The,
I mean, I guess they don't release. You never.
No.
They don't release it. You never get to see that. But I guess they're using that to set their bikes up for the track.
I've noticed now the telemetry is extending as far as to they note when the brakes are being used. So you've got
wow,
braking that combines with
that's Formula One
suspension.
Yeah, they've got GPS trackers, so they can monitor the speeds as well. So they know. I guess so you can you can cross-examine all this data now.
Yeah. Go on.
So, in theory, are you allowed to have suspension that's changing during your run?
Ooh.
I don't know what the UCR. Well, I was just thinking of let's say Fort William. It's just an easy one to think of to picture.
Well, actually,
the
no,
motorway.
Yeah.
If you could lock out for the motorway,
Well, they have had them, haven't they? Wasn't that one that says the suspects with Loic with a thing? Or Looser?
button.
Was it Looser?
Could have been
Had the pedally
The red-
section, he had like a
red
lockout.
button.
And actually, there was a pit bit actually from Lenzerheide. Someone was quizzing about what's behind the scene. There's a button on his bars again.
Yeah.
They were
Okay,
asking,
so the button, I remember
They
the
said it-
button
they said
before.
that-
Is that a compression
They
button?
said it on the broadcast
Um,
that he'd got
yeah.
a button on the handlebars. Don't know if it was. I thought it was Troy, but it probably could have been Loic. But
It might have
he
been
got
both.
something.
It
but
might
yeah.
have been both. I'm sure they're not the only team.
No.
running it.
So what do we suspect that button could be then? It's probably going to be suspension based.
Be suspension, be some kind of lockout or some
Yeah.
compression adjustment. But I don't know where you'd want to use that on that track. It's pretty rough, isn't it?
Yeah, we haven't really talked about the track much, have we?
No, but the
No.
tracks. I mean, it's quite a short track, but it's a mixture of bike park bits with the jumps,
Yeah.
and natural.
Yeah.
Whether he's clicking compression through the bike park stuff, where he doesn't need to carry more speedo through the jumps and things like that, where he doesn't want the suspension. But I
Yeah.
can't see it being as much an advantage, say somewhere where you've got like Looser, where you've got
Yeah.
a top section and a bottom section and a big pedal between.
Yeah.
I've actually ridden the track, and I can't say there was any moments on the track that I particularly wanted to lock out my suspension.
I think it's interesting as well to think that Bren sat here the other week and said how the tracks are quite samey, quite boring, and you watch it and you're just like, what track are you riding, dude? Because that doesn't look how it's described by a pro rider as quite not boring, but he's like, all the same, and there's not many line choices, which fair, maybe there's not that many line choices.
I think what he was referring there is again
they're not the old school steep
the
tech.
old school steep tech where they just strung some tape down a hill and let the track develop to a point.
True.
Yeah,
They're all now, I think what he's meaning there is they're quite they're established tracks now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Just the average speed has gone up so much.
Yeah.
Not because everyone's faster, not that they're not all faster, but just because the turn radius is
And the progression of the sport, so it sort of takes, everyone's running telemetry, everyone's got GPS track, you know what the fastest line is.
Yeah.
Whereas
That's
you go back 15 years, no one had a clue. Everyone's just like, well, is this faster? Let's
Triple
try
it.
that. The only way they used to do it then would, you'd have your teammate, wouldn't you? You'd want to try line 1, want to try line 2, see who comes out the end fastest. Whereas I guess now it's more black and white with technology as to that is the fast line.
Yeah. I think it's funny, I guess it was a couple of years ago when Cathro was doing those videos. That was interesting, because I bet that...
But he did one for this, and there was like that, that route section that they're saying, it was all like loam last year.
Yeah.
And now, again, because it's been cut in, and how rough it was. And there was, he said, you stand at the beginning, there's 2 lines here, but then you could, 2 obvious ways in, but then there's multiple ways out. And then depending on where you want to carry your speed, you could go in high, drop down low, go low, pull up high, go low the whole way.
Right.
Yeah, and they did some
didn't watch
interesting
that, I'll be
stuff
honest
like
with you.
ghosting riders over each other to see.
That's
like,
cool.
Yeah,
I'm
I've
glad
got
it's-
those videos,
yeah,
aren't
you
they?
glad
got
he's
some
still
going in
doing that.
fast and some coming in like carrying more speed.
Okay. I'm glad he's still doing that.
Yeah, he's still doing it.
That's good. Yeah, because again, that's something that, when you come to watch the race on a Saturday or something, you've just got all that things in your head where you can kind of figure out what's going on a little bit more. Get out what you put in.
Yeah,
It's one of them, innit? Literally get out what you put in.
You can nerd out.
Yeah.
You can nerd out. There's almost too much info now, isn't there?
Yeah,
I'd
to some
say.
extent. To some extent, there probably is, especially if you want to watch all the vlogs as well. You want to watch everyone's stuff. Look at everyone's social channels. It's a lot.
It's
There's
a
a lot going on.
It is a lot, yeah.
There's a lot
It's
going on.
good though, because you feel like you sort of get some of the feeling of the build up. Like in the build up, there's always like something going on track when you're actually there that doesn't ever get talked about or translated onto a live feed or even in a magazine. Like practice, for instance, who's going good in practice, or there's like a moment on track that someone's done something in practice.
Yeah.
You'd never get to hear about it unless you're
Tuned into all that side of it.
Yeah,
probably as
yeah.
well. You might get to see it. Someone's caught it on camera or something like that.
like at home. Dave always wins practice without fail.
I'm a practice champ.
He's a practice champion.
Thing,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely,
Don't necessarily pull it out of the bag when it comes to when the clock's ticking, but
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I had a practice champ this round.
Who's that?
That's Teo.
Oh,
Did you
Taylor Erlendside. I know
Yeah,
exactly what you're talking
yeah.
about. Yeah.
I mean, you got all those jumps. You got that bike park section with the jumps.
Yeah.
And then you watch those boys go down there,
He
and they
flipped
were
it.
having fun. He flipped it.
Yeah.
They say him and Kate.
It's massive.
Huge tuck no handers.
It doesn't even look big, does it? The jump, but it's not a small
Really?
jump. I'll send you a clip of me riding it on my trail bike, and it looks a lot.
Hey.
That's the one he flipped in. It's slack as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
And do you know, weirdly, like I kind of thought was almost cooler. So he does the flip, and then there's like a roller after it, and he casually sort of waves at all the guys, and he does this like nonchalant like scrub and whacks the little marker pole.
Yeah, he's
And
a
he
boy,
knows,
isn't he?
and it's like a byproduct. It's like that wasn't his. It's like a byproduct. But for me, I was like, that's actually cooler than the flip. Like that.
Yeah, that was rad actually, wasn't it?
Do you
What?
think there's an element of that now of like the riders trying to not win practice or anything, but like get a few clips? It's like just good social content as well.
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's
So
sort of
true.
Like, look at Cade, like he's posting like Sui no handers and all that.
It
sort of
might be
stuff.
quicker. Aero. I don't know.
Maybe. Who knows?
No, you are
Works
quite
on my
right. It has
skills.
changed it all. There's cameras everywhere, and
Yeah.
you've got a social media account that you
Yeah.
need to upload something onto.
It's like Sui.
Might as well flip it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he said that it was like a he saw the jump and had to get it. He said he couldn't focus on practice until he got it out of the system.
So cool.
So he's just come from Darkfest as well, isn't he?
True.
So he's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
That
He's
is
like, I
true.
need to flip this and I can go into race mode. And he qualified for the semi anyway. So
Yeah,
obviously
good on him.
worked.
Shout
Yeah.
out Tao. Yeah, nice one.
Was he living this way for a bit? Was he living in the south?
No, he's come over here a lot. He's got lots of friends
Yeah.
here. So
Yeah,
he's
'cause
ridden with
I
them
thought it was
loads.
down here because he did Petey's race a few years ago. Came
Yeah,
with Deeks, I think.
yeah, indeed. Yeah.
Okay.
We got Ryan down the road, who's like the
Course.
monster manager. So yeah,
Course,
he
of
stays with
course.
him. I think
you
fellow
go.
South African.
Yes.
Right, so this was the first World Cup where we've had the juniors on TV, which has got to be. Is that correct? Am I wrong in saying that?
I think it's correct.
You got highlights before.
Highlights,
didn't
that's right. But
In
this
the
was a
broadcast.
show.
you?
This was, and I think we should probably talk a bit about the broadcast, right?
Yeah.
We should. Not to be anything other than positive, but there was a lot of confusion before. Like I put the thing up on social media, like where's people watching? Where are people watching? Is it GCN, Discovery Plus, YouTube, whatever? And there was still, probably rightly so, a lot of people like, I don't know, where do I watch it? What's on YouTube?
Yeah.
What's here? What's there? It's a bit confusing.
So,
It is a bit
am I
confusing.
wrong? Is everything on YouTube other than the finals?
Yes.
Yes, you're correct. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
And the finals are available only on a select
GCN.
I sound like I'm doing an advert. I don't
No.
want to.
It's GC because I was confused myself. Like,
Yeah.
I was still trying to figure it out, and I'm looking at the options and like how you get it, what
Was
you
it
get.
going to be
for your money.
Eurosport, but it wasn't because of tennis or something?
Something like that. So it's on GCN. So you need to get that.
Discovery.
Discovery Plus, which I went for, or Eurosport, but it wasn't on Eurosport. I think they're the only three.
Okay.
They're the ones listed on the UCI thing. So I looked at the options. I was like, GCN, it's all just biking stuff. Discovery Plus, you get some extra shows.
Yeah.
You get you get Speedway, MXGP,
Oh,
all
cool.
cycling. They basically, unfortunately or fortunately, own everything, like all the sports. So you get all that. So and MILF Manor.
There you go. MILF Manor.
MILF Manor's on
What
there.
is MILF Manor?
I don't know.
Oh,
That's this week's
right.
video. So I saw that on there. That came up with the first thing as well.
Suggested for
Suggested
you,
for the
So your
MILF Manor
algorithm.
was at the top. I was like,
Davey.
MILF Manor it is. So yeah, that's what I went for. But yeah, like you said, going back, it's all on YouTube up into finals.
Yeah.
So
Because I think there was a lot of worry about like it being a bit of a strangle point for the sport, like, and it's cool that the juniors are up there. You know, I know
Yeah.
there's lots of things that have caused a lot of controversy, but like,
yeah,
that is cool, isn't it? That
Well,
wasn't
there was
ever.
a worry that you weren't going to see anything, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Unless you paid
Yeah.
whatever they asked for.
Yeah.
But actually, you can see pretty much all of it.
yeah, you're just
Yeah.
gonna miss. I guess finals highlights might be on YouTube by now.
They got finals highlights.
Got
Yeah.
finals highlights on
So the
YouTube.
finals highlights were up really quick because I had a GCN Plus login.
Okay.
That unfortunately didn't work.
Okay,
So I
awesome.
missed the main. I missed.
Our colour analyst didn't watch the
I know.
race.
It's a huge
All is
letdown.
revealed.
huge letdown. But I did. Yeah, you did catch the highlights.
Okay.
On YouTube fairly promptly afterwards.
Is the replay available?
No, I was hoping there'll be a replay, but it
Yeah.
doesn't
Replay
seem
is
to-
on Discovery.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I watched the replay because it was like, again, it's Saturday afternoon, red hot weather in the UK. It's 30 degrees outside, and again we can come back to this or whatever. But if you want to watch all that stuff, that is a day ish.
Yeah.
It's a
There's
lot.
lot.
It's
Fair
a
bit,
lot
isn't
of
it?
stuff to watch, right? If you want to watch juniors in the morning, juniors the day before, because that's on a Friday. That was
Yeah.
on Friday. But if you want to watch semis and the finals, semis started at like 10:30 a.m. I think it was. Finals were at 2. So it's like you've got a window in the middle.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you're kind of going to be behind a screen
Yeah.
watching racing, which I don't know if that's good or bad. To be honest, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence because one of the things that puts me off watching other sports is that it's just too much. It's like I want to be out doing rather than watching it in a way.
Yeah.
Kind of can't for this because it's our thing. We're a mountain bike podcast, but like there's elements of it where you're like with the Red Bull thing. Before it was 2.5 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah, it was more of a
sometime.
compact show, wasn't
Compact show. You could
And it
make a
was
bit more time
one
for it.
stop.
One stop, sit
Yeah.
down, it's all there. Whereas this, you're like on off a few different streams. You like got to log into this thing, and it makes it a little bit harder. It's a little bit of a, for me, it's a little bit of a bottleneck.
Yep.
Little bit. But I figured it out. $7.99 for a month of Discovery Plus.
And you get
MILF Manor.
MILF Manor. Yeah.
So
So
it's a win-win.
It's a win. Exactly.
It's a win in
They
our
chuck
house.
that in to sweeten the deal.
This
Yeah.
week in the deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. Don't know. It was. There was just a lot of confusion. That was what was really like strange to see when I put that thing up and people were commenting like, "Where are you watching it? How are you getting it? Where do I go?" And different countries have got different.
Well, they haven't advertised it very well.
things.
Wouldn't you? You'd think there would be like a post out.
I don't know if it's just. I
Or
mean,
whether we just
and in a
missed
way,
it.
again, credit to the UCI Mountain Bike World Cup Instagram or account or whatever it's called. But like, there's a lot going on. And if they have put a post out, it's now buried. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
so far
yeah.
down the feed.
What? Because of all the other events and that.
Yeah, just all the events and all
Yeah.
that. Like, you know, again, I'm on the fence with this, but like straight away there's a spoiler alert out, and I don't I don't know if Red Bull were doing that, but it's like I opened my phone, I didn't know women's had started, and I'm like, oh, that's who won. Fuck. I wish I'd not seen that.
But when you did see it,
I was pretty stoked.
we've glossed over the juniors, but that one's too much to not
Yeah.
go
That
into.
was a lot for me.
And
I was
it's
so
so
stoked.
unbelievable.
So stoked.
Like, I'd been following Rach up to it, seeing what she was
Sorry,
saying
we're
and
jumping
stuff.
ahead. Sorry, I thought we were talking about juniors. Okay, my bad.
Well, I feel like we can't not
I-
talk about it.
Yeah,
It
of
was
course. I was going to do a
like-
quick shout out though for Union team because
Okay.
that's my friend's Joe's team, and is
I saw that actually. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Union Steel City Media.
Union still City Media. I was going to wear the shirt today. It's massive though. Might wear it for the next episode. It's just cool, man. He's
Yeah.
he's doing it. People for profit. That whole thing is really, it's a nice vibe. Credit to Joe and that whole team because they're doing it for the right reasons. And it's literally the whole thing is about like nurturing talent and helping them go somewhere else. And they've done it with Ben Zoir, Oliver Zoir last year.
Yeah.
He was on there, and they've got Piron this year, the third brother. You know what I mean?
Oh, Baptiste.
Piron.
Baptiste.
And then the winner of the juniors, Charlie Hauger,
Christian
Yeah.
Hauser.
Christian Hauser,
When he's on
Union rider. There you go.
Nice.
Names just don't click for me.
No, that's the thing. Was I guess last year there was so much hype between. Well, there's the Mayer Smiths. They
Yeah.
stood out,
Jordan
and
Williams
then we had Jordan Williams
and Jackson Goldstein. Yeah,
But they were the juniors, weren't they? And I don't know
yeah,
now
Yeah.
who the next wave of juniors, and I guess we'll find that out.
we will. Let's
But,
keep an eye on it. 'Cause
they're
It's
not
cool to
like-
give those guys little props in it as we go
Yeah.
throughout the show and stuff. Maybe we
Yeah,
can get a couple of
especially
them
as we
on
can follow it now. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, hopefully we're going to get some of the Union guys in the UK a little bit more, so we can hopefully grab a couple of those and get them on here, which would be nice. Cool team, doing it for the right reasons. Big
Absolutely.
fan.
I didn't know anything about that, Davey. Actually,
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah.
Big fan. People over profit. It's cool. It's cool. Really cool. So yeah. Anyway, juniors done. Let's talk women's.
Oh, it's
Do we need to talk about the broadcast a little bit more or not? Or are we happy at that, or do you want to go into it a little bit? Who's comfortable going into it a little bit?
Well, the broadcast.
Yeah.
We talk about the broadcast if you want.
Okay, let's talk about the broadcast a little bit. I think people are going to want to hear a little bit about what we thought of the broadcast. I think we've got a bunch of things, not listener questions, but people's thoughts we could go through as well a little bit after. But what was your
Yeah.
thoughts on the broadcast? Let's
Well, I struggled
yeah,
with it.
Good.
To be honest.
okay. Yeah, I
Um,
think yeah. Just to add an edit here because I'm always really sort of not nervous
Yeah,
about this,
I
but
just
like,
didn't know what to expect.
yeah.
I don't think anyone knew what to expect from it.
Mm-hmm.
But then we were chatting a bit earlier, weren't we? We thought
Yeah.
there was a lot of the reducing of the field and what have you was all to see more of the runs and stuff, and then you still didn't see.
Okay.
Well, I was expecting to see full top to bottoms effectively.
Yeah, I mean, there was obviously a lot when we watched juniors and semis. I guess I was like, "Fucking hell, they don't really get to see much of this." They've then stepped it up for finals. I think there was
There
seemed
was
to be a
more.
bit
There was more track.
There was more. Yeah, there was more
Um,
track. But yeah, I'm sort of with you on that. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
especially there was a few where you missed almost all of it. There was like, it's a lot going on. There's a lot of moving parts.
But
It's hard to be
I
not
feel like it might get. I think they're obviously in the learning.
the first of everything
process
is
as well,
tough,
so
right?
they're
Or
gonna-
second if they did.
it might
if
get
they
more
did the French.
refined.
Yeah.
But
As
yeah.
it goes on, as
Yeah.
the season goes on.
Yeah, there's a few things that, like you mentioned before we started talking about the branding, even like all that's changed. Like the whole sport looks different.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it?
Yeah,
On the build-up, I was just thinking, guys, it's all forgotten. It's just racing. We're coming into it. I'm so excited. It's A1. It's the first race of the season. It was amazing how quickly I sort of stepped out of thinking, oh, it's going to be different and all that.
Okay.
I'd just forgotten it all.
cool.
But it was different. But you can tell it, like you said, it's the first go. It's not. It's going to be hard, and I do feel bad for the team there because you can see what difficulties they had, and it's like, fuck, it's tough to watch some of it. It's like with the sound going out and the graphics and stuff. Like it's all just going to become more well oiled and
Yeah,
work out as they
There
go.
was a few
isn't it?
tumbleweed moments, wasn't there, where
yeah.
stuff dropped out and.
What
just
did you
left the
think of
background
Rick
noise.
and Cedric's? What would you call it? Chemistry.
think
Let's say should we
well,
say chemistry. Think
I
it's
think
something
unfortunately they've got a
we've got boots to fill.
They got boots to fill, and they got the biggest boots to fill.
Yeah, huge boots to fill. And it was kind of, I want mountain biking and everything about this podcast and everything about mountain biking to be a positive space, right? That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to put positive energy out. But it was disappointing to see, like, you go on YouTube to watch the semis or the juniors, and the comments were just like gnarly.
Yeah,
they were not like, it's not nice.
No,
like,
it's silly that.
I think they need to give it a chance.
Yeah, and
it's
that's what you
changed.
don't want to be
It's
a part
changed.
of.
Like, you can't hate on these people for like trying. They're doing the
Mate,
best, right? Like,
how much do they have to do, by the way? How much do they have to commentate on now with all of this, all of this
much.
content? If you think
the
it's
XCers and everything, right? Those
oh
guys.
my goodness, it's hours in that booth.
Yeah.
And to keep the enthusiasm up, I think they did a fantastic job. Like, imagine when you're at the final 3 riders, how many hours in you are by that point on that weekend.
Yeah.
It's hard as well. It is difficult not to be inspired by Rob and take, elements of what he did, because he just did it so good.
It was natural to him as well.
Super
wasn't it?
natural to him, and it's hard, like, it's hard to fill those.
I think they've
boots.
tried.
And
I mean, Gracia on paper should be another Rob, shouldn't he? Really? No.
Yeah, maybe.
But on paper,
I don't know, like,
because he seems to be the same sort of. He's just like a French character.
Yeah,
isn't he?
definitely.
Yeah. But maybe that didn't come across on the broadcast in the same way.
It must be for those guys. It must be hard, because you've got all that pressure, all that, like you say, all that, those boots to fill. It must be fucking. I'd hate to be in that position, knowing how many people watched that and how many people were like really eyes on at this race, like really judging it.
Yeah.
And having a say on social media. And they'll have got probably some horrible messages and probably a lot of supportive ones. There's a lot in ours that are really supportive of him, and,
Wicked, yeah.
which is good. I just think it's an interesting one that, it's changed. And
They've got another race next weekend. And, and they're not going to... They're going to... They're more worried about it than we are. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
definitely. It's just different.
Everyone would have sat down and...
It is very different. But again, the whole sport's different, isn't it? The branding's different. From the broadcast, sorry, Dave, the broadcast side of it as well, I'd like to think that they're going to put results up a little bit more. Because I was getting lost of like who's actually...
It must be hard.
Who's in the lead?
It must be hard, because
who's winning?
I always noticed before they never had... Like, what you want, like a scrolling thing along the bottom with
like a ticker.
Way better, with just like names and positions.
Yeah, and also I don't know if they did it on the broadcast. I didn't see it, but some sort of like breakdown of the track. I didn't see it.
They did do bits at the beginning of...
Did they? I didn't see that.
At the start of each
discipline almost
thing.
Okay.
They did like a little top to bottom.
Okay. Because that's something that Red Bull really dialed like those last few years. And that, I think as well, sorry to keep going on about the broadcast, but it is quite interesting that the last few years, it felt like even Red Bull took a massive step with bringing Elliott in. Because that Elliott and Rob thing was just like the dream team, right? Yeah. Elliott's got all those little insights. He knows everybody out there. And
he's like a stats guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's he's like their version of you, right? What you are to us, sort of thing. Yeah,
kind of.
Yeah, like a colour analyst.
Yeah, like a Rain Man sort of character. Dave's more like Rain Man kind of character. Like with the numbers, he can just pull them out just like that. You know what I mean? Like Troy Brosnan's head angle.
There you go.
64.5.
Do you see that? How quickly he did that?
Probably,
it's insane.
That's probably.
I thought you was going to say 69.
Just owning it.
See
I
how
don't
quick
know.
it was.
I just think like they had that. It really stepped up the last few years.
Look that up. Tell me if I'm right. I'm not 100% wrong.
And I don't know. I like those insights a lot. As you're going through the commentary, they've got insights. They've got like, I spoke to the team and they said this. There wasn't much of that going on, in my opinion. But I don't know.
But they did try and do some
I'm not trying to be a hater.
walking around the pits bits as well, didn't they? But you just didn't see much of it in the broadcast.
No. Hey, it's changing, and that's it.
The positive,
that's it.
Positive vibes.
The positive thing, I'd like to think that all of this is additional to the racing, not taking away from it.
Okay.
So it's all a positive, isn't it?
Yeah.
So racing is the thing.
The racing's the
Racing's
thing.
the thing.
And if the commentary and stuff and everything else adds to it, fantastic.
Yeah, but
But it's
also
not
views are a
taking all-
thing as well, because that's what gets sponsors involved. And if people aren't willing to pay the $6.99, $7.99, that's where it could be different.
Yeah.
And that's the bit I don't quite understand the economics of it, how it works, whatever, how much revenue that's driving. But look at other sports, and something we spoke about ages ago was like a lot of other sports will share some of that with the teams. I just feel like that seems to be the right thing to do. Going out on a whim and saying that, I don't know, but like,
But
it
did
just
they
seems
have,
to be that we need to be driving the sport forward, and I don't quite see at the moment how that is, because it seems to be putting a lot of people off spending that money. Some
Is
people
the
can't afford it. It's
review-
simple as that. Like
Is a review of like the cross country and stuff the same? They're the same commentators for the
I thought they
XC?
had. I thought maybe they didn't.
I don't know.
I
I'm
don't
just-
know.
I'm
actually,
just
is
wondering-
the XC the same paywall?
Well, that's what I'm wondering,
Yes.
is whether actually like they're making enough on that side of things that, do you know what I mean? That's where
Yeah.
that's the cash cow, and then for them downhill's the sideshow.
Yeah,
And
it's
therefore
probably
it
a long.
doesn't-
It'd be interesting to speak to someone who probably does know more about that side of it. But like, I'm just interested to know, like, where does it go, that money? You know, where is it? I think it's should be shared.
I have not a clue. I'm really split on all of them things. But, well, I just think I would pay that money to watch that. I want to watch it
Yeah.
just like I'd pay for.
Did you pay or did you use
Supercross
my
or-
login?
No, well, George has already got a login.
Oh,
to
there
be
we
honest. I got lucky, yeah.
go.
But I actually would.
Yeah.
I actually think I sort of want to support. I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, but then I think you're already a core fan.
Yes, yes.
So
you
I
are
think-
right. Yeah.
I think what they're
There's
trying to
two
do is
sides
now
of that
they're
then,
trying
isn't
to attract new people to
Because
it.
if it's on Discovery Plus, you are getting new people, hopefully, because
Yeah.
there's all that other content on there. But the same with Red Bull. But
Yeah.
it was easier there because it was all free. So it's like it's 6 and 1
No,
and
you
3,
yeah.
3 other.
It's
innit?
it's such a big conversation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I said to myself before we did this, I wasn't gonna like just talk about it negatively because the racing was so good.
Apologies if that was negative.
No, it wasn't at all.
I'll-
No.
I'll take it
I
back.
don't mean it. I don't mean it in that way. I mean like I'm trying to not be negative.
Yeah.
And I'm really like conscious that I'm trying to be. It's like a bit exhausting. It's like
Yeah. No, and that's what I meant. Like, I want it to be a positive conversation.
Yeah.
But
I fully get all the
sometimes
questions
those
you're
difficult
asking.
ones
It's just
are
like
what's going to help, hopefully,
yeah.
and be more positive.
Yeah, I just don't, I don't know
No, I don't know.
so much of it. I don't know so much of where like the where the money goes and all of that. But what I do know, and one thing I absolutely know,
Please tell me you've got the answer after the break.
is after the break. Okay, honestly, I've been looking forward to this advert.
Yeah, favourite.
It is actually one of my favourite
One of.
adverts because it's one of my favourite products that we've ever done, and we've got a long history doing it, right?
We have, mate. Yeah, believe it or not, one of the first ever podcast
There you
sponsors,
go.
and it's lovely to have them back, isn't it?
Isn't it just and a product that's so useful as well,
Super useful.
and both of us have used personally
Yep.
in times of need.
Yeah.
Times where you really needed some way of cleaning your bike.
Yeah.
That's right. It's the Hydra Shot,
Mate.
and it's got more powerful, and
It's
we're going to
got
unbox it.
Better. You're going to unbox it. This is actually your one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to
Yeah.
unbox this.
So for the audio listeners, I'm going to leave it all to you to explain what I'm doing,
Yeah.
what we're looking at when I pick it up. Is that good? Is
Yeah,
that
easy,
good? That's
man.
going to work
Yeah,
out
let's
good.
do it. Let's do it.
Right.
Okay, so this is the new Hydra Shot. It's had an update. We're talking pretty much double the power now, which is really cool. I mean, the Hydra Shot was great at first, but the thing is, it's not too much. It's not too much, and it's not like too little. It's just enough. You're not going to damage the bearings of your bike. Ollie's now reaching into the box, and in the box he's found the hose. We're going to break the hose down, all right? This is a beautiful
Hey,
piece of hose.
This is a lovely piece of hose because
Yeah.
what this hose means, not only that you can connect it up to your mains water system. Yeah, sure. Every pressure washer does that. This one, you can put in your water butt. You can put it in the river like you do.
Yeah, I
right?
did that. Yeah, I used to do that for sure.
So
So
you-
basically, it means that wherever you are, if you can find clean or somewhat clean water source, you can wash your bike. Bottom of the trails, perfect, right? Side of a track, perfect. Ocean, when you're jet skiing, perfect.
perfect.
So many places you can do it. It's anywhere.
It really is. That's
Yeah.
that's the best thing for me living in the flat, not having an outside water source.
Yeah.
That's why I used it
Yeah.
for so long, and it was so great.
Yep.
A friend in need is a friend indeed, and
sure.
the
We didn't have an outside tap either for a long time, so I
Yeah.
used to just fill the bucket, come outside, dip the nozzle in, wash a bike off. Super handy, mate.
exactly the same for me. So now I'm hyped to look at this because this is the first time I've seen it.
Wow.
This is twice the power,
Yep, that's it.
56 bar.
Yep, we're going to have 220 litres of water flow. Yeah,
Would you look
which
at
is
that?
great, isn't it? All right.
It's really good.
It's brushless 2.0 motor and negative charge pump generate pressure up to 56 bars.
56 bars.
Again,
dude, it says it
not
on here.
enough. No, is enough. Not too much, but not in. I can't say that.
It's
I
less
can't
than
do
a
it.
normal pressure washer, so it won't blow out your bearings. I think that's what you're trying to say, right?
Thank you for helping me out.
Hey,
there.
look, what I want to show you here, I run all Works power tools,
Yep.
and because of the power share system,
Mhm.
you can just simply swap between your impact driver
Yep.
straight into your new Hydra Shot. It goes actually in a waterproof casing here. I think that's
pretty
new,
cool.
isn't it?
Yeah, that is new.
But how cool is that?
It's a nice little
Straight
feature.
in, we're good to go. We're
Boom.
good to go.
Cranker. Does it
Right,
work?
shall I look in the box, see what else we
keep
got?
going. Keep going. See what else we got in there. And also worth noticing, it weighs just 1.5 kilograms. So you're not going to have to, I remember, dude, back in the day, we used to carry around these crazy big petrol jet washers. You have to generator as well. It was so much stuff you had to carry. But this comes in a nice little bag if you want it as well. You can get that on works.com or uk.works.com. What else we got? All right, we've got the nozzle, which you can use at 0 degree. 15 degree, 25 degree, or 40 degrees, which means, again, you can pinpoint accuracy if you really want, or you can give it a nice flow. Maybe, again, something we use it for at home, watering the flower beds.
Nice.
It's a nice job as well, actually.
I tend to use the 15 degrees. I feel.
Yeah, 15 is about right, isn't it?
Yeah, but maybe with this new 56 bar, I might be using a wider.
40. Or
I might be.
25, Yeah.
I might be.
Yeah, it's good.
Mate, I'm really excited. Do we have an offer?
Yeah, which is the best. So, again, mate, Works have been with us for a long time, but we've never had an offer code. Thankfully, Works have come through. We said, look, we want to hook the companionship up, right? We're going to talk about your amazing products. We're going to talk about it. We're going to promote them, but we want to give them something.
Yeah.
And it works, dude.
It works.
So it's powerful. All right. So if you head to uk.works.com and enter the code, the Ride Companion, what is it?
I think that code is the Ride Companion.
Yep. That's going to get you a whopping 15% off.
Nice.
That's good, man.
15% off.
It's really good. It's super helpful. I know, again, not to go over it too much, but people have been loving this ever since we started talking about them all those years ago. So hopefully it's going to help the companionship out. uk.works.com, enter the code, the Ride Companion, and you too can have yourself a clean bike.
What an outro.
I've got biscuit in my mouth still. We come back from the break and I've got biscuit in my mouth. That's so embarrassing.
Yeah, I need to stop taking so many tea and coffee breaks or whatever it is. Tea and biscuit breaks.
Yeah. We
All
went
right.
for the pink wafers though, and they're quite a dry but not dry experience, aren't they?
No free shout outs.
But pink wafer is like a species. It's not a
Some
brand.
type of biscuit, isn't it?
Yeah.
We don't have that up north. Genuinely. I looked at
You say that about so many things,
You
like
said
electricity, about you say
gas, coal. We have coal. No, we don't have. I look for those because when I came down last time, we had pink wafers,
yeah.
and then I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get some of those."
There's
That'd
not
be
many
nice.
here. They're
Really?
rare
There
here,
you
yeah.
go. Yeah, maybe they've not made their way up north. They must come over the border and only get just as far as maybe Birmingham or something.
Someone smuggling them.
Yeah,
No.
they don't get all the way up.
Dougie's doing runs of them. He just picked up a load from America. Right, what are we on next?
I guess we kind of glossed over the Rachel Atherton
We can't gloss over Rachel Atherton.
by accident, didn't we? So,
Yeah, Rach.
Rach.
unbelievable.
How cool was that?
Yeah.
Actually, this is a double UK win.
Yeah, maybe we're putting it back from the French finally. The glory days.
Could be.
Junior was not.
No, he's
Brit.
not. He's not a
No,
Brit.
okay.
No, he's not a Brit.
I was going to start singing 3 lines on the shirt and stuff. I
Do it
was. I
anyway
was
if
going to
you
be
want.
really patriotic. Yeah, for a second. Oh, it was so good to watch her
Unbelievable.
Rach. Also to like follow her as she goes through the race weekend was really cool, wasn't it?
Well, didn't she go out just saying she'd be happy to qualify?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's right. There was no. I think
that a
there
subtle
were no
flex, do you think?
expectation.
Just like trying to take the
Yeah, and
pressure
then
off.
she qualified, and then obviously she came second in the semi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she couldn't. But I feel like she actually couldn't believe it. You know, like
Yeah, no, it's legit.
that was actually not expecting it. And it's really hard. Also, it's really hard if you're that prolific, like you've won that many races. It's really hard to turn up and not do well.
Yeah.
I
It's a
can
gamble.
only imagine. I've never I can't even imagine what it's like to have won 39 World Cups. It's not just turning up and oh, just have a go. Like
Yeah, it's
you've
an interesting
won
one because
39.
the reputation is not on the line as such because she's done what she's done already, but there's been people
Well,
in
it's
the
just
past that have,
expectations.
yeah,
isn't it?
that have like, you want to go out on the top, don't you? And she did, and then you to come back again, it's like quite
Yeah, but
gnarly.
she didn't technically go out, did she? So she had that Achilles injury.
True. Yeah, she did.
Got-
yeah, she had the Eli
got-
Tomac.
Yeah, so she should then recovered from that and
Yeah.
was basically meant to then start the next whatever the next season was after that, and that's when COVID didn't hit.
Yeah, and then a kid.
Then the kid.
Reproduced.
Kid. Wow.
Actually,
she's been-
kind of a nice.
I wonder what was going on in her head, whether she was like, you know, oh, I'm done, or whether it was always there. You know what I mean?
I don't
Like,
think
I'm
so.
gonna-
I think she was always wanting to come back.
yeah,
Wasn't she?
I'd say so as well. Seems like
Um,
that sort of person. I don't know her personally, but yeah, it seems like that sort
And
of
then you
person.
hear stories from Bren when they go up to Duffy, just saying she's absolutely hauling up there. And I was listening to something on Needles podcast, and they were saying, well, yeah, she's got the speed, but you know she needs to ride more places than Duffy.
Mm.
And then I guess she's going to prove them wrong. Maybe like that is the training ground you need.
Yeah,
And she's only going to get better, isn't she?
I think so. It seems that way.
I think in her interviews, I think you could see she was actually honest about like. I don't think that she was planning to do a whole season, but I think it's going to be tough to not.
Yeah,
If
but
you
like
know
the
you're
Hagen
capable.
Deegan thing, isn't it? So yeah, not planning doing the whole season, but I've just won the first one, so why am I going to walk away from it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
exactly.
To go in with no expectations and then win is so ridiculous, isn't it? And like her daughter's there. Oh, it's just so nice to
lovely.
see. Actually, it was
Lovely.
really good to see her back on top.
I
Did
was
she
worried
win on
watching-
her own bike before?
No.
She went out on
She-
Trek.
Yeah, they were on Trek at that.
They went out on
Yeah.
Trek, so she's come back with a bike brand and won a
Dude.
race.
Well, that's what I
Was
put
it
on
their
my
first
post,
race
isn't it?
win? Atherton?
It's like a Hollywood
No,
movie, isn't it?
Can't be
No, I
their
think-
first race win, can it?
Did Kolb win last year?
Yeah, of course. Kolb won. Kolb got one last year, no? Did he not?
No, he did like a second.
Second, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Very well, but I don't think he
So
did
this
win.
could be Atherton's first win
Might
as
be.
well.
I think you're probably right. Yeah.
World Cup, obviously, Cole got European chance.
Yeah.
True.
That's I
There
think
you
what
go.
I was thinking of the jersey. Eh.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe a first win for the bike.
Oh, that's very cool.
By the founder.
By the family, by the owner.
Holy shit!
Well, that's
Family
what I put on
business.
that's what I put on my did a post. I was stoked for H, and I was just like, woman, fastest woman in the world on that day, mum, businesswoman, what a role model.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mega, isn't it?
Yeah. My mum was at a sewing craft fair thing. What was so?
Did you win it?
I don't know.
Can you win it?
Best cake.
She might have won it. That's what my mum was doing. Yeah, some women there.
Oh, it's so
I did think when
downhill.
she was going down. Did you what? You saw her run, obviously, and then I thought the fitness would be potentially the issue because she was steaming, wasn't she, at the top?
Yeah.
She had seconds on them.
Yeah.
And then the people coming down after,
Mm.
they were like pulling on her at the bottom.
Yeah, it's true.
And
Maybe
I was
that's
a bit like,
fitness thing.
maybe it's a fitness thing.
I mean, that's something you can work on now.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't-
That's easily solved, isn't it?
Finding speed is, yeah,
Yeah, she's got the speed.
harder.
She can
than-
work on the fitness. She can get the conditioning, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
And there are big gaps in between races as well. I wonder if she's going to come back next week. It'd be so interesting if
What
she
are the
does.
big gaps this year? We go two on the bounce now, don't we? One boom, and then there's like,
Leogang.
and then a week off, then Leogang. No,
The league games this weekend.
no, sorry. Yeah, so two on the bounce, then a week off.
Val de Fascicus Enduro, then Console.
Yeah, so a week off, and then straight back out. So it's because they've condensed it into quite a short season, haven't they? I guess, or does it drag on at the
I'd have
end a
to
little
look at
bit?
the calendar. I don't
Sorry.
actually know.
There's like nothing in July, I think.
Right. Okay. There you go.
But I guess I sort of compared to like a Supercross series or something like that. Like if you,
So
Oh.
back to back,
Just-
isn't it?
yeah, I don't know. You will build fitness. I guess some people, yeah. Interestingly, like actually, the shape of people nowadays on the downhill. You know, in the start hut, you see like people are training now,
Yeah.
like hard.
Well, it goes in hand what we were saying earlier. They've got nutritionists and trainers
Yeah.
and stuff, and it's all come on. So it is a proper sport now, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're not. It's not like the PT Warner days, where
No.
they had beers afterwards and stuff, is it?
No. And I guess I think more so now we're seeing that more of a changing of the guard of some of those guys that you're used to seeing top 10 are now, unfortunately, not even going to make it onto the broadcast, a lot of them.
Yeah, it felt that way this race did, didn't it?
Yeah, there's still, for me, like, I'm not the biggest race fan, but there's still people now that I'm like, who's that? Okay, like, you have to look and like, oh, who's
Same.
this guy?
Yeah, I'm the same, yeah.
Whereas before, obviously, when you're in that, like we were saying, heyday almost, you're like, oh, I know everyone. Boom, boom. You know all of them. And there seems to be a lot more new faces these days, that's for sure.
It's just like I say, it's a change in the guard. It's
Changing the
keeping
guard.
up with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But who were we missing? We were missing big names, weren't we? There was a few. Pirion,
Yeah.
practice injury.
Have
Didn't turn up for the semi. Didn't final.
we got any news on what he's actually done?
I looked into it and they just said it was a injury sustained in practice. He's not going to race because they're focusing on the long game. So that implies that he's going to be back.
Okay.
Do you feel like with this stacked field, let's say, as well, do you think you can miss around and still win a world championship?
Well, that's what we were chatting about earlier. We're looking at the points. The semi's quite loaded with points.
Yeah.
So what do we have? We're looking at Jordan and Loic, for example. So Loic won the semi, and Jordan was back in 9th. So that's 152, like 100 points to Loic, 52 to Jordan at that point.
Right.
Then they went.
Because they did reduce them, didn't they, just before the season started? The
Yeah,
points. It was going to
the
be
points.
way more, weren't it?
Yeah. So there's quite a big gap there.
Yeah.
And then Jordan's then won the main event, and then to make it moto.
Right, too.
And Loic's come 3rd, and actually, so that's closed right up. By the time we've done the points, there's only like 22 points between them.
So
at that point,
So this season you should be able to close gaps.
So what I'm insinuating there is like you shouldn't get the runaway. You shouldn't hopefully not get like 2 or 3 rounds in where there's like one person running away with it and there's no chance of catching them.
Yeah.
They've because 9th's not a bad result really, but the points in both means that hopefully it's a tighter fight amongst a bigger spread of people.
Right.
It keeps it interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So hopefully,
Yeah,
if Amori, for example, comes back next weekend and goes 1-1 in the semi and the final, he's back in the mix.
Yeah, of course.
And
True.
of course it works. It works inversely as well. So like, let's say you crash out. Obviously, you're never hoping to crash out, but there's more opportunities to crash out. So there's more opportunities for people to not make the main.
Yeah.
See, we're literally calling them the main.
I like the main. I like the main.
Yeah.
No, I don't like the main. I like your idea, Dave.
Yeah.
Or someone's idea. Moto 1, Moto 2.
Moto 1, Moto 2.
But yeah,
like,
so they also like Minar, for example, puncture.
Yeah.
He's out.
So he was protected, right?
He's protected.
So
he still made it into the night show.
Is that what the asterisk is? Maybe. No,
they got P's. They got P's.
They've got
protected.
a P. Okay, yeah, still trying to
We're
figure
still
that out.
unsure as to the asterisk.
So nice. I guess it's a pretty nice segue. What did you guys think of the semi format? Can we talk about that now, or should we go?
I'm kind of into it.
Yeah,
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
But it's more racing.
Yeah. It is more racing, definitely. It
throws a new aspect on it, and it mixes. I think it mixes the points thing up.
and there's way more to talk about as well. It's like I was quite a fan from the start, to be honest.
Yeah.
But then I don't have to race it. If I just had to race it, I'd be pissed off. I'd be fuming.
Really, yeah. There's two races.
Just imagine what you put on the line on like they're not racing within comfort zones in any way, are they? Like no one wants to hurl themselves down a track like that, I don't think. And to do it twice, I want a pay rise, I think.
So, what were the times differences?
Well, between semis and
and what?
That's a good point.
What do you think? Were people pinning? They were pinning. I mean,
they were pinning.
But
I think all looking at this, all the top boys went to about 1 to 2 seconds faster in the main. So I don't know whether that's more time on track. Don't know whether that's they are holding back a little bit,
tiny bit.
But I don't know if that level you can hold back.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
is it like slope style? You do a nice steady one for your first run, and then the second one you throw.
I don't think they're steadies, are they? Yeah.
So for example, Jordan he's not a protected rider.
No.
In the semi situation.
No.
So he can't afford to hold back.
I was wondering, I've not looked too much into that sheet, but whether the semi and the final times are tied to like mid-pack, because they've got like more to lose as well almost. They're really like pushing. Whereas, do you know what I mean? Like the top guys maybe do have that little bit in the tank that they can leave in the tank.
Because they know as long as they top 30, they're through.
Yeah, exactly.
And as long as they
Yeah, exactly. So I just, I've not really looked into it myself too
Element
much,
of them being like experienced racers as well. I feel like you'd be able to rein it in that tiny bit or put it out. Like,
which is terrifying to think that those guys are going.
Yeah.
They are, unfortunately, that is the nature of the sport, right? They are going that little bit quicker, and they've got that little bit more in the tank that they can probably just.
There is that element of control. I think you're right. Like even when you speak to a World Cup racer, they can be like, I was going at 80. You know, they can accurately guess what sort of pace they're going at. I think it's quite cool.
Yeah,
I was going like 80% down there. Then we'll put in a good run tomorrow.
Interesting
quite
to think,
sick.
isn't it?
Yeah.
I know it's a bit of a off topic a little bit, but like seeing Bren's footage that he put online on his Instagram and how fucking fast he was going to not even make the cut is like terrifying.
Bren don't hang around.
How fast those guys are going is like,
going
that's terrifying to see. Like, it's like, oh my God, that's pretty it's pretty gnarly.
It's really, I remember when I was younger, I went and did a travel guide for dirt, and I went to Sweden. And Robin Wallner, he's actually like a really successful EWS racer.
guy, yeah.
But he was in his World Cup career back then. But he was like, he wouldn't qualify every race, you know, so that was top 80 back then. I remember thinking just like, I don't know what I thought. I was young and dumb, but I was just like, oh, well, you know, he's only like, I'm used to riding with like people in the top 5. I'm sure he's not that quick. And then I could not believe the pace on him.
It's still tight, isn't
when
it?
I went, like anyone at that race is going like Sting.
Yeah.
Basically, it's
Yeah.
like they're going quicker than you.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like,
What was Bren off qualifying? He was 13 seconds back.
Yeah.
And 90,
94 or something,
something like that. I mean, and that's
Not long.
no, and
It's not a lot of time.
Isn't much really.
No.
And the field is so tight.
that'd be good comparison, wouldn't it? Like finding out what the time spread was 10 years ago, and then as the sport ages and becomes more refined, like how much closer the times get. Because I reckon it'd be quite crazy.
I think it was a massive drop off years ago. It's like
Yeah, I reckon
I
there
think
would
it
have
was like
been.
the top 10, and then
then it was
probably
like
quite a big drop off.
I mean, all of them are still going quick, but I reckon it will have been like the elite, the pointy bit. The triangle would have been more pointy.
Yeah. Let's have a look at it after
Yeah.
for next week's show. Maybe.
Homework.
I'll get some stats.
Homework.
I'll do some homework.
Right, what else have we got?
Well, so I've got some standout bits and bobs. What else did I mention down here? I just wanted to mention back in the women. So you had like the first EWS. I know it's not talking about, or EDR as it is now.
EDR now, isn't it? Yeah.
So you had like Valley Hull come in.
Oh
and
yeah,
do
the
EDR.
crossover, wasn't it? Yeah.
And then, funny enough, in the other way around, we had like Hattie Harnden,
All right.
who is Trek's EDR rider.
Yeah.
She was at Lenzerheide. And I think she finalled. She made, where
Yeah.
did she go?
She 8th?
Yeah, she was, can't see it now.
Still finding. Oh my
Thought
gosh.
she was in there. Oh yeah, 8th. Yeah,
8th, yeah.
yeah, 8th. So it's just interesting
Good
with the
guess,
crossover
wasn't
because
it?
you had like Richie Rude on the downhill
Yeah.
proto as well, giving Sam Hill.
Were you disappointed in Samuel's results?
Oh, Sam, well, we need to talk about Sam Hill. I wasn't it's not, I expected it,
Okay.
if you know what I mean. He's
Yeah.
been out the thing. I just feel
so
like
long.
the sport's progressed.
Yeah, he
So
can do
much since
whatever
he
he
left.
wants. He's the boss.
He's got
can't he?
nothing to prove. Not to say I didn't want him to be there.
I love
I
it.
hope-
It's so exciting.
Before the race, if you were going to guess where he was going to finish, where would you have put him? Putting you on the spot a little bit, but why not? Let's play games.
I would have maybe put him around Bren's pace.
Yeah.
I would have thought he'd be
Yeah.
umming and ahhing whether he qualified.
Okay,
yeah, that's what I
interesting.
was thinking as
Really,
well.
yeah.
Being
Okay.
100% honest. And
Yeah.
I'd love to see him getting. I thought I'd love to see him getting a semi.
Yeah.
I
for the
can't see him
broadcast.
getting to the main.
Okay. Is he doing a full season?
I think that's the intention, isn't
Yeah,
it? I
okay.
think he's in. I think he's all in.
Can we go through the finals podiums, because it'll be interesting to see what we're talking about a changing of the guard. it's like actually there's like the names on the podium are not.
They're not your household names, are they?
No.
Well, actually, no, a lot of them are. But
They are, but it feels new. It feels exciting. Probably just because Jordan was at the top of it. It's well exciting, isn't it?
It's
But-
super exciting, but I think, and this is I don't want to take anything away from Jordan here, but for me, it just hasn't been that name coming through because I didn't watch much of the junior stuff. That he is a bit of a surprise, and I think he's gone under the radar in some.
I think he's gone on
because he's been
this
shadowed by
off season. He's gone under the radar.
Yeah.
He's just obviously got his head down, got his bike set up.
and also he's shadowed by Jackson Goldstone.
Yeah.
It's like Red Bull, like all that stuff going on around him and projects and this and that. I feel like he's just a hardcore racer, just doing it. He's an Eli Tomac.
Yeah,
I
You
got
don't
a
hear from him just
Deaconator
doing
tip
his
off
thing.
on him years ago.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah, Deeks
called it.
Deeks was just like, yeah, he'll win a World Cup.
Wow.
And you just think like, shut up, mate. You're going to Forest of Dean races. Why?
No way.
He has.
Yeah, he
Deeks
has.
was right.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Like you say, yeah, it is a changing of the guard, but yeah, for me, just I wouldn't have picked it, but hey, I'm no racer.
The women's podium, bar Rachel coming storming.
Yeah,
back
actually,
in,
yeah.
is actually like that's your household names.
Yeah, that
so
is.
we got Rachel in first, we got Camille Blanche in second, Nina Hoffman third, Valle fourth, and Marine back
Yeah.
after she had broken back last year, was it?
Yeah, big and
Could've
didn't
been,
she?
yeah.
So she's back and on the pace.
Yeah, so that's what I mean by the podium. It looks, but actually, when you look at the men's podium, it looks familiar. But when you look at the men's podium, actually, it's only Jordan that stormed in his rookie year. How old is he? 19.
He's 19, 20. He's 20.
Imagine coming in your first World Cup. Like
There was
Yeah.
two first-time winners. The Union dude as well. First
that's
ever junior
unbelievable.
race
That is.
as well. Nuts.
Imagine
To win
it.
an elite.
I wonder
downhill.
what his expectations were. Do you know? I don't know the guy, but from the interviews and stuff, it seems as though he's just sort of like it's like another weekend at a race. It seemed.
Do you think there's an element he's just come in with that nothing to prove, no pressure,
Yeah.
and do you
Maybe.
think it's like
I'll
Some
be
people
blubbing, dude.
thrive on that, just like
Yeah.
going
I'd
under
be-
the radar a little bit. Maybe a little bit shadowed throughout your junior career by someone else. A little bit.
and you're going on to team. I'm not saying the Saracen team's not
Yeah.
a good team.
Yeah. But
I'm
it's
not
gone
saying that at all, but he's
specialised.
gone on to specialise.
Maybe got a
who
point
are
to prove. Oh,
who
you're
are
not giving me the
questioning
new
one
bike?
of the
Watch this
best. Yeah,
motherfucker.
exactly. So they're obviously one of the best supported and more
Yeah.
professional teams there.
Yeah.
I mean, is
True.
the specialised is that team now? Is that the new syndicate?
Interesting.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Syndicate is such a dominant top rider for us. We got 3 specialised bikes in the top 5.
I mean, the
Yeah.
top 5 is in 1 second.
They're all within.
This is
it's-
unbelievable. That's
how tight that is.
unbelievable. The kid's come in on his rookie year and he's taken like that's a hotly contested top 5 steps.
Yeah.
1 second.
And that's what's
Just-
going to be interesting with these semi-final points and stuff as well. Like you say, you're talking your point, 0.5 between first and second, and then between second to 5th.
They've all done the same run.
They're all within half a second of each other.
They've all taken the same risks. Like
Yeah.
think about how much it like over a 2-minute 39 track to all come in within a second of each other. Like think how much goes on in 2 minutes and
So many
39 seconds.
variables.
Yeah, how many variables there are?
Variables.
How many like you're all coming down at different times. There's like a rock in the track, and there's like
They're all on different lines.
they're all on different lines, and then
Yeah.
to all reach that same. So we got first Jordan Williams. Congratulations,
Yeah,
on
big
your first
props.
World Cup and your first World Cup win. Sorry. Second, we got Loris Vergier. We've got Loic Bruni in third, Laurie Greenland in fourth, and Finn Arles in fifth. Like
2 Brits, 2 French, and a Canadian.
And a Canadian.
it's just the addition of Jordan that makes
It's
it.
crazy. Well,
But it's
so sick.
That's a cool looking podium, isn't it? I like it.
Oh, it is, yeah. Holy shit. Well, cool. I
So
think-
and actually, to be fair, Goldston was in 6th, so he's up there.
yeah,
He's there.
yeah, yeah. And I think we're going to see more of Jackson as we progress throughout the season. Obviously, we're going to.
Troy really pulled it back from his semi. He was 7th. So he said he was.
Where was he in the semi then? Quite far
He was.
down.
He was. I think he was back in like 13th or something. He
Okay.
was.
Again, it's new
for
format,
him.
isn't it,
For
people?
him,
It's
he
like,
was.
how do
He
you-
was off the back.
Yeah.
No, he was 11th. He was 11th in the semi.
Right.
So
Again, new format.
But again,
How
I
do
was
you
really
attack it?
expecting Troy was one of those guys. I was like, this format's going to suit him. He's going to,
Consistent.
he's a consistent guy.
Yeah.
He's going to be up there.
I think,
And he's not up there.
it was funny. Sorry, it's slightly off topic, but throughout the broadcast, they kept saying, blah blah blah, goes on to the new look hot seat, and you never really got to see the hot seat. And then they showed a shot of it, and it was just 3 bar stools in a bus stop.
That's what it was.
Did you see it?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
see
it really made
actually.
me chuckle. Not being negative, but it really made me chuckle because I was like, "Fuck, this hot seat must be sick." Like,
Yeah, you're waiting for it.
3 bar stools in a bus stop. Oh, it really
no
got me.
way.
That did. Yeah, all the same height. Anyway,
That's funny.
You've got them up north.
bus stops.
I mean, the new hot
Got a
seat.
lot
You've
of
got
bar
bus stops and bar stools.
Yeah, we have them. Obviously, Greg getting 3. So, former World Cup mechanic. Greg gets 3 rear
Well,
punches.
I was trying to work out. There's
What
something.
is
There
going
must
on?
be some square edge rock that they were all hitting. Because the semi final, when I tuned in and watched the semi final
Yeah,
on the YouTube,
yeah.
and yeah, there was. I mean, I don't haven't noted, but like every other rider was coming down with a flat rear tire.
Yeah.
It was
Really, yeah.
amazing.
There's quite a few in finals as well.
And I can't remember the last time seeing, when you're watching last season,
Yeah.
someone getting a
It's
puncture.
just mad to see Greg get 3 like in a row.
Yeah,
It's like, as a mechanic, what you're doing? What are you changing?
I think I think to a point it's potentially asking them to what are you hitting
What are you
up
doing?
there? What are you hitting up there? Because those mechanics, they'll be doing everything they can.
Yeah.
They've got tried and trusted methods. I assume they have like cush core. I mean, you don't know what type of puncture it was.
No, true.
Was it something
True.
unseating the tire? Was
Yeah.
it something physically
Was it in the same
puncturing
spot
the
every
tyre?
time? I didn't see the
There was
semi
it was a
one.
wood section.
Mm.
It wasn't on the again, one of the other problems. So it wasn't on the live stream.
No, you just see him
Where it happened, they'd roll out the
Yeah.
woods and hit. I think there was like a turn before one of the jumps. It's towards the bottom third of the course.
Yeah.
And everyone, like every other rider, was riding out those woods with a flat rear.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I don't think no one's actually said what it was yet.
How
but
annoying is it that we just can't work out how to do it without
how to
air?
keep your air in tyres.
It's the worst, isn't it? That literally ruins races all the time. It's just, it's part of it, but
It's just so light air. It's great.
yeah,
But they would have had, you assume they would have been cush cores,
yeah.
everything they can do.
Fucking hell, yeah. It's just crazy, innit, to see someone get 3 in a row. It's like, that is bad luck. It's real bad luck.
Yeah, poor guy. Poor
Mm.
guy.
So, we need to look towards wrapping up, yeah? So, MVP of the weekend, what you got?
Jordan Williams.
John Williams, MVP.
Rach.
Well, I was going to say, are we doing? If it's overall, I think actually. It
Well,
has
you
to
can
be.
take Jordan, I'll take Rach.
Yeah.
And then David.
I'm going to go on a whim. Different, but like Bulldog. Just because I just love watching his run. Brooke was sick to watch. I don't know where he ended up in the end, but it was
Let's
just
have a
good
look. Let's have a
to
look.
see him back. Like,
Yeah,
he had a
for
rough
sure.
year last year.
25th.
25th. Fair,
Nice.
all right, but he was
Solid.
just fun to watch as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just good to watch someone like this. Just really, you can tell really trying, really trying.
Well, it's interesting
bit
watching
loose.
people's styles as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because, like you say, they're all within a second of each other, but like they all look totally different down the track.
It's interesting, isn't it? Like what would you say the young guns look? So Jackson and Jordan. Let's just take those two, just because they're rookie elites. What about their style? Would you say? Do you notice anything?
I feel like they're. I don't know. There's quite a different riding style due to their size on the bike. I think Jordan's
Yeah.
like. He's not a big guy, but he's not a small guy, is he?
No,
But
yeah.
he's got a custom extra long demo.
Oh, what between
So
the
he's-
two of them? Yeah.
And obviously, and Jackson's a small guy, and he's like a Troy type.
Yeah, light,
If you wanted to Yeah.
gangly, like quite tall and spindly.
light and yeah, so they're riding the bikes in two different ways.
yeah.
Yeah.
So who was third? Sorry, Troy.
Third, no,
Second was Troy.
no, Loris.
Loris, sorry. Yeah, okay. I was just
But
trying
I'm
to
just
think
saying,
of,
if you're
like,
just
body
comparing
types.
styles,
Yeah.
between, but yeah, I think Jordan's. I think he looked quite aggressive. He was quite aggressive on the pedals, isn't he?
Yeah, he was aggressive on the pedals.
I think Loick's an interesting one to watch because he said before even Loic said he doesn't like his own style on a bike.
Yeah, it's true.
Says
that
he
did,
says
yeah.
he's
Stays real central,
says
doesn't
he
he?
stays
And, like,
boring, but it's efficient, isn't it?
Yeah.
it is.
And you think who else didn't look boring on? Who else in theory looks boring on a bike and doesn't look like they're going as fast as they are? You think
Greg, but
Greg.
not this weekend.
Voulios,
Yeah.
you go like way back. They're just efficient.
I think the young guns,
Speedy.
normally when you associate like the young guns with like being crazy, out of control, wild runs, and it's not like that anymore. That's what I was sort of getting at. Like they're really extra dialed. I feel like you watch Jackson ride down, it's just so precise and like
Yeah.
everything is perfect. There's not like those loose moments as much as historically when someone says, "Oh, there's these young guys coming up through the ranks," you always look out for like a wild run.
True. Yeah, it's fair.
Whereas like they're just like robots. They're unreal.
Yeah.
It's cool seeing the sport get like that. It's like
It's becoming more Formula One, isn't it?
yeah, isn't it?
There's too much
I like
testing
the fine
and too
balance of
much
it.
telemetry.
I like to watch like Brooks' run. To me, was just great to watch because he was just a bit out of control. But it was
Yeah.
just good to watch. It's like I like that. And Blanky's in semis, I think it was fucking sick to watch. He was so good. No gloves. Oh, dream. But yeah.
Top race. Should we do some listener questions, or we?
We can do a couple. Yeah, we'll do a couple. It's more we asked for like observations from the weekend and stuff, so we're not going to do any negative.
Give
ones.
me some homework.
Okay, this is an actual DM, but I left highlighted. With one of the youngest in the men's elite winning, and with one of the oldest in the women's elite winning, is the faster young guys just the start of people growing up with the modern faster bikes? And will we see the same level coming through the field in the women's? Maybe with the kids riding mullets from the start and bikes that fit them better, or will nobody ever reach the level of Rach Atherton?
No, I think we're going to get faster girls coming through
I do.
for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to get better at this season, but I didn't watch the junior women's, to be honest. And
I didn't watch the juniors.
no,
either,
but I'm going to. I am going to because I want to. But also, it's good to see Tani back as well. Sorry, just an edit in there. That was cool to see Tani come back, and I really like how Tani's been super open and honest on her social media about all the stuff that she's been going through and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, no doubt we're going to, aren't we? We're going to see girls come through.
Especially
Phoebe
we got some
could be one.
local girls here. Like, I think girls downhill
Yeah,
is really on the up.
yeah,
And also we are now. That's what effectively Jackson is, isn't he? He's the first of that generation that's grown up
yeah.
with access to bike parks
Bike parks.
and good bikes.
True. Yeah, it's
Um,
true. It's true. You say Jordan grew up Forest Dean?
I don't know where he's.
I think he's
what-
Forest Dean. I think he's Forest
I thought
Dean.
it was it not Gorton? I thought it was weirder than that. Gorton.
Oh, right.
We've done the.
Should we look it up? Let's look it up.
Yeah, okay. Shall I do another one while you're doing that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what else we got in there. So we've got. This is a good one. Not only the winner, but Williams was surely the winner of Lit Kit too. I like a Lit Kit award. I want to do it. I like doing a Lit Kit award. There's a couple in there for me. The Giant Team,
Yeah.
they look dope. They look really cool.
Their kit
That was
was
a
cool.
Lit Kit award. And I'll do another one. The Union Team again. They look sick. Look really cool. Nice custom Fox kit. I know. I'm not doing it. No, go on.
I was into like I'm always
I
a
don't
fan of the Common Sale team's kit.
Yeah.
Muck off Common Sale. Their team's always good. I think their kit's good.
What was your opinion on the old last name down the leg?
Bit much. I thought it was a
Did you
bit
see it?
much. I thought it was a bit
Yeah,
much.
you're running Wilkins down the old left
I don't know.
Talon Rouge?
I don't know if I could manage to pull that off. I don't know.
I first saw it. I first saw
I
it
thought it was
on
everything.
Minar,
Yeah.
and I was like, do you know what? If it's Minar, you do what you want.
He can have it. Yeah.
He can have it. And then I was like, oh no, Goldston's got it as well. I was like, oh, okay. And then I saw Green, and I was like, oh, it's a team thing. I was like, okay, maybe that's a bit much.
Hey.
But that's just me.
That's just me.
I
Maybe.
think
We'll see. Might start a trend. You never know.
Do you know what? There's actually, I'm just looking through the questions. There's actually quite a few positive ones.
Yeah,
So it's
there
good
are.
to see. Yeah, there's.
There are. Go
Yeah.
for it. You can do next one.
All right. just the one that my eyes were on at the moment, from Ollie Riley. What do you think of white shoes?
Oh, good one.
I couldn't pull it off. It would be. I would stand in dog poo so quick if I had white shoes. Like it would happen so instantly. I feel like, not 1, 2.
But it's just these sorts of the white kit. The white kit in general, white stuff looks good. But again, Loic riding down in his World Champs jersey with white trousers on, it stands like a sore thumb. Then he had that tyre scuff on his butt.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look cool on TV. I don't
True.
think.
It's fair. This is the sort of side of downhill that I like.
White kit.
The kit and stuff, yeah. You know, with the white shoes, man, I mean, motocross boots are all white pretty much, right? Everyone runs white boots, and it makes zero sense because they just dirty straight away. I remember buying like a brand new pair of Tech 8s, and you go riding in them once, and you're just like, well, they're stained orange now from some shitty sand somewhere.
Yeah, they're not coming back. It makes sense. They make sense to be like black.
Yeah, so white for the pros, I think, is probably pretty cool,
Yeah.
but I don't know if I'd buy them myself.
I think it's trick. I can't imagine lining up with rainbow stripes. Like the pressure that's got to be.
Yeah.
I would crumble under that. Just having that
Is it the LGBTQ
jersey. Yeah, I would.
Pride jersey. Tell Emma
I
that
think
when
so.
we-
Yeah,
when
that,
we
you
watch
could.
downhill, I'm gonna be like, yeah, that's like Bruni's riding the Pride jersey.
Representing.
We got questions about why there's so many flats.
Yeah.
We've sort of tried to talk.
Well,
about
yeah,
that,
we
but
try.
we've failed.
We don't know. My bet is it was something, a line on track. It wasn't just one tire, one wheel setup. It was multiple brands, tires, wheels. I suspect it was a line choice.
I mean, there's always mechanicals every race, right?
Mm.
But I can't think of one where we just saw so many
There's just
pungies,
so
but
many
maybe it's more
punctures.
racing.
But that track, one of the things of that track is there's lots of square edge rocks
Yeah.
in it. That's one of the things. You get feedback from the riders saying that there's lots of.
Square edges.
You got the fast open bike park bits, and then the woods are rough roots and rocks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we just didn't see the bit of the track where the punctures are happening.
No.
So unless you watch like a POV
Maybe.
run on YouTube and try and pinpoint a bit, but there's obviously a line where there's a square edge rock that they were all hitting. That's my guess.
Yeah, same. Let's do a carry on if you want, but while we're doing that, we'll do a pick for next week's races.
Oh, do you reckon?
Let's do a pick.
Do you reckon we've broken
and
the
also
seal
use
now?
the comment section below.
Yeah,
some
that'd be
picks.
good. Yeah. Do you reckon he's broken the seal now? He knows he can win. He's going to do it again.
Dangerous man.
Do you think he's dangerous, man? Do you reckon you're just that young that you don't care at all, and just your
Well, I think
confidence
where
is peaking?
We're going to Leo gang, so you've also got to think track. Is that gonna
So who would
he's not I'm not saying he's
Yeah.
an unfit guy, but you think who in that field's proved themselves before? I think Troy won there last year, didn't he?
Yeah.
Before he got injured.
No.
Or the year before?
Doug's.
The year before. Yeah, year before. I think Troy's going to come on strong now, I reckon.
Who won last year, dude?
I don't know. I thought Troy did. So definitely not me.
Yeah, Anne-Marie?
We're not a dialed
We'll get more
production
dials.
team yet either. So
I also think Loic's
we've
gonna
got work to do.
Loic's gonna have something to prove.
I think
isn't he?
Loic. If I'm okay, I'm gonna do one pick. I'm going Loic Bruni.
Oh, such suspense. I liked it.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I like that.
Thanks. I'm going Loic Bruni
Yeah. Okay.
for the men's.
All right. I'm just gonna go Rachel Atherton for every race from now on,
Yeah.
just in case she decides.
I was
to
going to say
enter.
on the women's rate, I think
Yeah.
Rach has got. I mean, if you come into that race and your goal is to see if you can qualify and you win it,
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
I think Nina's gonna win in the women's.
Oh, okay.
yeah, that's a good shout.
Thank you.
I'm just going to say Rach for loyalty.
Okay, so we've got 2 races in a Nina.
Yeah.
I'm going Loic in the men's.
I'm gonna go. I might go Vergier
Ooh,
because I feel like it's just. Yeah, I'm gonna go Vergier.
nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Troy.
Nice.
Yeah, I want to.
Because he replied to your message.
He replied to my message,
Big up, Troy.
and he's done it there before.
Yeah.
And
2 years ago it was
Yeah.
though, Dave.
Yeah, I know. I know. 2 years ago.
2 years more practice, faster now.
True that. And he's got the steering stabilizer on.
And and that might be a track.
There's looser bits in there.
There's the rough bits, dusty bits.
Yeah, for sure.
Dave, thanks so much for joining us.
I'll brush up. We'll come back
Mate.
stronger.
Fantastic first step. Go at it. No, it's mint. It's nice to sit and chat about it. Again,
It is good and it is exciting. And you're right about it being more exciting. It's like a turbocharger, isn't it? It's more exciting when you sort of pay attention. I was so hyped on the build up to this race.
yeah, I was actually. I
Yeah.
was excited to watch it yesterday. I really couldn't wait.
Yeah.
Again, yeah, for a lot of reasons. I couldn't wait. It was a bit confusing, but I couldn't wait to watch it.
Little side note, we forgot to discuss the fact that Gwyn's out.
Yes.
So, broken arm.
And we think Amory will be back for next.
Amory's-
No one knows.
Well, they said that the release was that he's there. He's sitting out with the long game
Okay.
as the goal. So that
Okay.
implies to me that
It's a
he'll
shame
be
for
back.
Gwyn, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's rubbish. Because it's
It's
not
a
like
shame.
when anyone gets banged up and has like a series of bad luck,
There's a few.
it's annoying. But when you're like that guy
Yeah.
and like that, you're still pretty much peaking, aren't you? You're just like,
He was coming back on form, wasn't he?
yeah.
Finished the season strong, hungry.
True.
Yeah, he was coming right back on form. I remember, was it Andorra last year?
He podiumed at the last round, didn't he?
He did. He did pay him at the last round.
Mm.
He did pay him at the last round, yeah. And it was like, oh, Gwyn's back.
Yeah, it felt like it.
Wait
I
8
think it was
months, we
Andorra
can see
when
if
it
he's
yeah.
really back.
was like top 10 or something. I need to look into. I need to get my numbers.
And unfortunate for Wyn. Obviously, he was in the hospital too with Cathro.
Cathro's injured.
Cathro's
Mayor
hurt.
Smith.
The two media guys, really. You
Yeah.
got Wyn TV and Cathro Vision, both out. It sucks. Luke Smith was it as well.
Mm.
It happens, unfortunately, but sucks to see when it's those guys, right? Just like the personalities.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
The vlog team, the BTS team.
we'll have more Win TV on the way and some Ed Bull Media House as well. So we've got coverage coming from all angles. Life is good.
Life is good. Awesome.
Peace
Cool.
and love.
It's been fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining
Pleasure.
us.
Where do people where do people find DV on the gram?
I'm just on Valler _S4P.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna go.
There you go.
It's gonna take
That's where
off
it's
now.
at.
Thank you everyone. We appreciate you for watching, listening. Our new merch now live on site.
Yeah.
Companionship hats. There's only a limited amount. As always with our merch, keep it
Limited drop.
limited. But yeah, they're available, and we got sticker sheets too. They're now live on the site. They look a bit like that, but a bit better. These ones are offcuts, but yeah, they look like that. So you can grab a hat. We'll put a little deal on there. Hat and a sticker sheet. We'll do a little deal on there.
Yeah, why not?
By the time these are live, the episode's live. Sorry. So yeah, rep some podcast merch. These hats are actually sick. We'll do a little social post about it, but like they're actually sick. Full custom made ride companion hats with the teal band around them that Ollie really wanted.
There's way more money.
Yeah, way more.
Look cool though, don't they?
That's cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, go grab one of those, please, folks. We appreciate you. Like and subscribe.
Peace and love.
Like and subscribe.
That was the best episode we've ever done.
So
wasn't
good.
it?
Yeah. How are you not gonna want to hit like and subscribe after that?
I don't know how you
How?
could do it. I don't know. I mean, maybe they could watch the last video over your way.
Yeah, or
Above
you
it-
can
above
watch
you.
a clip that we think you might like. Either
Who-
way,
Who
hit
knows
like,
where it is?
hit
Yeah.
subscribe,
Yeah.
drop a comment. Job's a good one.
Thanks for watching The Ride Companion.